I know and to me, they come bang, bang, bang. First, you get the shortest day on about the 22nd. Then you get July 4th. And then we're on like a roller coaster back into the fall.
Mm-hmm. Do you like, what would be the ideal amount of...
Like a roller coaster going downhill.
Yeah. What would be the ideal amount of time between sundown and sunup for you? What do you like?
Ideal for me?
Yeah. Like more or less? You know, like something 6 hours or 10 hours?
That's good enough.
It was one of the things I've been, with the World Cup, one of the things that it's interesting to look at is there's a camera that's mounted at the Liberty Memorial, all called Earth Cam, and it's all over the country. They have these that run all the time. And so I started clicking on some of the other cities, and one of the places I fell on was somewhere in Scotland. Oh, it was Dublin, Ireland. It's this really cool little... They have like 6 hours of, because they're north, they have like 6 hours of dark. So the sun goes down about 10 p.m. and it's up at 4. You're like, I have no idea.
And that's great, but they have 6 hours of light.
Yeah, on the other side. 6 months from now, it'll be
or
just
8
the opposite.
or whatever it is. They don't have much. It's just like when we talk to, Chief of the North.
Mm-hmm.
He's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We talked to him. What time does the sun go down? About 4. You get to the shortest day. I'm like, oh, I'm not moving up there.
Because you can rewind all these back 12 hours, and it's like, oh God, you can still see the sun at 10 o'clock or the little light in the sky. Not the case here. Not where I thought we'd be going, but again, that's me.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's what I do, at least.
The Norwegians have advanced 2-1. They survive Ivory Coast, if you were wondering, 1-1 it was. And then Norway with a late goal. By the way, ESPN, could you put the World Cup on the front page? It's under more sports.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Like, I get it, it's on Fox, but you twit. Could you put it, on the main banner? Like, I like F1, but it should not be on the main banner where you don't even carry that anymore.
Yeah.
So why is that on the main banner over World Cup? Are you kidding me? And NHL, because this is what you get for putting your games on ESPN. You get to put the NHL logo on your banner, on the ESPN front page banner, so you can get right to the links of the NHL, which is vital right now.
Oh,
Never mind the World Cup. Let's go an extra step to get to the World Cup.
Because we don't have the World Cup, so we're not going to put it there.
Yeah. I just...
Ooh.
Journalism, at its best. Anyway, Norway, 2-1. They score in the 86th minute. Ivory Coast was excited. They tied it up in the 74th minute. Looks like maybe a fairy tale ending.
Mm-hmm.
When Morocco got against Germany. Maybe we get it to PKs. We can win it there. Nope. Norway takes it back 2-1.
Norway, Brazil, 3 o'clock on Sunday.
That's a good one.
In East Rutherford, yes.
That is, that's a match that I think most people will want to take in.
Yep. Canada, Morocco on Saturday. And coming up, France and Sweden in a couple hours.
Yeah. Well, no, they will take on the Paraguay.
Mm-hmm.
Take on the Paraguay. They'll take on Paraguay.
Yeah.
And then what's the other one we've got tonight?
Tonight we've got Mexico and Ecuador.
Mexico and Ecuador, Lake.
And the winner there will play on Sunday against the winner of England and the Democratic Republic of the Congo tomorrow. The first game tomorrow. We'll play the winner of tonight's game.
Yeah. And then the U.S. are up tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 7 o'clock.
And we will all be rooting for Austria and then Portugal or Croatia as we look to get Spain out of there.
Get them out.
I don't want to see Spain. I don't really want to see Portugal either. I don't want to see Croatia either. Any of those three are going to be... That's the first one. That's the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
That's the heavy lifting. If you get clear to the 8, that's what appears to be the bridge too far in the scenarios that you would come up with.
You can win someone else's World Cup. Talk about winning someone else's championship.
By the way, they had a watch party at what appears to be a near NFL, that's not it anymore, they've switched, but a near NFL-sized stadium in Oslo, maybe like 50,000. The decks up top didn't seem to be as big, but maybe about 50,000. Packed, all the seats, and on the field.
Wow.
Watching the game and getting all excited.
Very cool.
So
there's no other event like it. I mean,
no.
We get to watch it in real time, and it's been fun. Even you don't have to be a fan of the sport to appreciate what it is.
How much bigger is it this year? This time around, how much is? There's the obvious. It's in our town.
Yeah,
that's the obvious. Like, what is it? Because I think it's a lot bigger, and I'm curious the reasons why.
Yeah, is it? And how much bigger would it be that it's in our country if it wasn't in our town? You know, they're kind of two steps to one. It's on home soil for the most part.
By the way, the rowing is done in Dallas. They have now rowed the boat.
That's the other thing. There's so many fun little traditions that you get to see that you don't think about. You go, wonder if we could do that.
I think the fact that it's in our town is big. Yeah. I think the biggest thing nationally and the second biggest thing in Kansas City is that it's on our time schedule.
Yeah.
They're playing games at times we're used to watching games. We're not having to watch at 3 a.m., 6 a.m. These are on our schedule, and I think that has been one of the biggest contributors to it.
Yeah. Today and tomorrow, 3 matches, and then the time schedule is essentially normal NFL Sunday. You used to watch an early game, a middle of the day game, and then a game under the lights. We're used to that. We like it.
Yeah.
Standalone fun.
And I think Kansas City has done a fantastic job. The traffic snarl at the beginning was a problem, but that's about it. Otherwise, everybody seems to be enjoying what's going on, and the countries that are coming here enjoying it. And I think people need to understand that's going to be a big part of the echoes of the World Cup. Somebody came here to watch a match that is going to be someone in a company that has to decide where they're going to put a plant in the U.S. They're going to be like, what's a really cool town? Kansas City.
Yep. Yeah. And there won't be necessarily a straight line you can say, well, this happened because of this. But I'd bet that 10 years from now, if you started looking at certain demographics or certain increases and things, I think you could probably see that line begin to start around 2027, 2028. If in 2035, I have an idea. I'm not a business expert, clearly, but I know what trends are. I know what lagging trends are, and I think you'll be able to see it in this town a decade from now with the impact of not just having that event here, but the performance of this city and the people in it.
I think about 10 to 20 years from now, you're going to see a really good American team.
Yeah.
Right? Like somewhere in that range, you're going to see the kids that are watching now. And people will be like, well, I don't watch that much soccer. I saw the World Cup before. It's not just about you. It's about getting the kid that was going to go play baseball.
Yes.
That now goes and plays soccer. A passion has now been lit for him. He's watching Rowing the Boat and the Orange March and all the things that come with this. And this catches him. And now he watches soccer. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to watch Man City because there's the Norway guy, their best player. I'm going to watch it. And the bug bites him, and he goes down the path of being a soccer player as opposed to being a football or basketball or baseball or hockey player.
Yep.
And that's what it'll do on the field. But I think from a fan standpoint, I think there will be people that come away from this and go, all right, in watching these, I've now figured out the game. I've figured out offsides. I know what that's all about.
Getting used to the pace of the game.
Yes. I think Sporting needs to win, but I'm headed out to the Sporting and Current matches.
Yeah. Yep.
And right behind it's going to come the women's. Like the women's is next year.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get another year. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they don't stagger them every other year. But, maybe it's to put the women's out of an Olympic year because the men's is on the same cycle as the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. They don't want to have any Olympics when the women go to give it more of a center stage. To which point I would probably do the odd years with the World Cups.
Yeah,
the Olympics have the evens, you have the odds.
Right.
But, for whatever reason they do it the way they do it. I do think that there will be carryover. I'm curious to see how much. I think a lot of it we won't feel because I think, Matt Beasler's time came from watching the 90s team. That's what sent him into becoming a soccer kid. And I think it'll be interesting to see where it goes from there.
I've always had a theory when I've not really tested with people that, but just being around high school athletics most of my life and what I do on the side, is that you say soccer, isn't that popular among kids who are growing up. So, well, go look at all the soccer fields where all the kids are playing. I'm like, yeah, they are there. But once they get into high school and suddenly I want to be popular, kids who are athletes that might play soccer, you think that's changed quite a bit?
Yeah.
Like their football and basketball is still
there's
cool.
no
It's
doubt,
changed a bit, but
yeah, there's no doubt that the attendance at the varsity soccer games is not the same as the attendance at the varsity football games. To your point on that I think is still there, but the coolness factor of playing it, I think, is there.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I think they've made inroads, but something like this, I think, can make even more. I think you can erase that entirely because
I think the other thing is that the soccer leagues in America have to keep growing and have to keep increasing how much players are making.
Yeah.
Because I think there's no doubt there's going to be more and more opportunities for women because I think the success of the WNBA and the NWSL is driving the volleyball and softball professional leagues that have now started. And I think they need to settle out and figure out probably one league, or two that don't duplicate cities, but probably one. I hate to say it, that a monopoly is the best way to grow sports, but based on the American model, it probably is because they're not going to work. Like it would be great if like in women's and men's volleyball, I think there'll probably be a men's league too, eventually, because that participation is growing. But if you could start with, I hope with like softball and like I do think we need one top league. But like I've talked to a few people about the volleyball leagues, and they're like, well, there's 3 leagues, and they're kind of competing. We don't know which one's going to have the best players, and we don't need less teams. We just need to get them organized now. And wouldn't it be great if they were the first one to organize in a European model and have relegation?
Yes.
Get all on the same
cool.
page.
Right.
Like all the bitching and moaning about needing to, figure out a way to redo the lottery because too many NBA teams were bottoming out this year. Drop them. Drop them down. I mean, it's the ultimate. I can't stress enough. I understand it's a very difficult process to unwind when you have the model that we as Americans have. But can we all agree it's absolutely a better way to do it? The way it's done overseas in soccer than the way we do it. As far as if you want everybody max efforting and games to matter, having relegation so that at the end of the year you're playing to not get sent down.
As opposed to, trying to
tank to get the better draft pick and the better player. And
that would solve that in a hurry.
And you could solve here's the other thing you can do. Well, we got to tank for the draft picks. Well, stop. I mean, we're already paying the kids now in college. You can pay them in high school. Just go to the academies. Make them have the academies. Have other teams. I mean, if you want to get rid of it, it's not going to happen because we love our colleges so much. We want to aid in watching them all go bankrupt so that we can keep watching 18 to 22-year-olds play sports with a Jayhawk on their chest or an Orangeman. I'm not picking on KU because that's how we grew up. That's how we won it, as opposed to going, all right, this is really dumb. Let's spend money on academics. But I mean, academics is now funding athletics, which I can't tell you. When I think of the people that I watched pay thousands of dollars for their kids to play the AAU and the travel and all that on the 8th team, like if your kid can go and loves it, but I see kids that don't love it and they're playing on the 8th team, your kid can't crack the top 7 squads. Go play some rec ball for 50, 60, 70 bucks.
Yep.
And then take the other $3,000 you were going to spend or $4,000 you were going to spend on travel and uniforms and league fees and put that in a college fund.
But I want to be able to say that my son plays whatever level, even if it's 8 teams down.
It is. And in Europe, if you're kicking ball, they're identified, they're signed, and they go into the academy leagues. They take it up. It's a different way of doing things. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where it'll be. It'll be long after I'm dead before anything changes in the American system of doing things. But I wonder where 200 years from now, when it is truly a global economy, when perhaps we have supersonic travel that's not exorbitantly expensive, maybe our own George Jetson car, whatever it is, and it truly becomes a global economy. And so I'm taking a new job. Where is it? Scotland. I'm taking a new job. Where is it? South Africa is like the same thing as taking a new job in Chicago.
Yeah.
When that happens and the sports fans cross-pollinate, what'll win out? Which is more likely? The relegation system to be incorporated over here, or the no relegation, the big boys have total control over there? I'll answer my own question first.
I don't know.
I think there's no chance whatsoever of the Euros adopting the American system.
Right. It's
because they've already proven
nobody wins out. Everyone just keeps doing their own thing.
They've proven that they have ways of doing things, and they don't do everything for the whatever's the biggest buck right now.
Right.
And I think that's the problem with American sports and a lot of American society is, but what gives me the biggest dollar right this moment?
Yep.
And so I don't think the Euros never look at it that way.
Mm-mm.
They tried for 5 seconds to start that Champions League, whatever they were going to call it, Championship League, where they were going to take the biggest team, PSG from France and Man City, Man U is like 6, 7, 8 from EPL, Madrid and Barcelona from Spain, and the big club from Italy. They were going to bring the two, Dortmund and Bayern Munich from Germany, and they were going to have one league with them. And all the fans and all those countries went, no. Like, that would have been the biggest dollar right now. They're like, no, but you're harming all the rest of the clubs.
Yeah.
And we're not down for that.
I mean, just look at someone like Brendan Sorsby. That's a case in point of a single person saying, I want the money now. Because how much money has he lost in potential future earnings by what he's done the last, how he's harmed himself, his future to make. He could have made NIL money this year.
Tell everybody the story behind it.
Well, I mean, him being betting, making bets on his team.
Well, so
and the idea was to make. I'm going to make some money right
saying.
now. Yeah, and how much money did he make because of that? And how much money did he cost himself potential future earning?
Yeah,
by trying to take the short money first.
Yeah, I mean,
that was the guy who I'm not waiting until I can make it down the road. I want it now.
Yeah. No, it is. I mean, and so I think it'll be interesting to see if American sports can find a way to monetize it.
Mm-hmm.
If they do that, it won't be anytime soon. I mean, no time soon.
No. I know I won't be here.
No. But I mean, I think it's amazing. Like if no one's seen I can't remember the Wrexham, what the full title is. Was it Chasing Wrexham or so? Anyway, it's the story of the two American actors that bought Ryan Reynolds and
Welcome to Wrexham.
Welcome to Wrexham.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds and the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But you may know him better as not the comedian on the DirecTV commercials.
Yeah.
He's the guy in the warm bath. The two of them.
Rob McElhenney.
Yeah, Rob McElhenney. Two of them bought a team in the lowest level of the English soccer leagues and started putting money into it and have taken it all the way up to where they're on the second division. Like they're close to getting into the Premier League. Like, that's what it would take is be like, okay, all these club teams are now for sale. You can buy in at this, start making money at it, and you got a chance to move up. But I don't see it happening anytime soon. I would love it. I think it'd be great.
Sure.
Watching teams, fans go nuts because they just avoided relegation. I mean, it's a lot of fun when you watch the Premier Leagues. Like, oh, this match matters. I got to watch this. One of these two clubs is going down, or this club has to win, or they're going down.
It's one thing to say, we get eliminated from the playoffs, you're fighting for your playoff lives. Your team's fighting for their playoff lives. You as a fan, but how about fighting for just to be in the league?
Yeah,
that's a whole different type of.
It is the capitalistic way to do it. Like, right? Like I've heard, like, nobody's ever. Who was it? Somebody said we like our politics capitalism, but our sports socialistic. Like that's how we do things here.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, we share and share alike. We get revenue sharing. We got all this. Yeah, we're staunch capitalists, except for our sports. We want them staunchly socialist.
Particularly if you live in a town like this.
Yeah. I mean, just the psyche is interesting.
Yeah. I'll tell you, this system works in fantasy football. I got a 12-team league. We got 13 guys. Last place is out of the league for an entire year.
Really?
Yeah. It works. Guys, try,
That is great.
I've never even considered something like that, but it's so simple and perfect.
I would love to get a league together that, had like get 24 guys and bottom 4, bottom 2 are down, and then the bottom 3, 4, 5, 6 have to go into a playoff.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, our bottom 3 are down, and then 4 more are in a playoff, and or bottom 1 goes down and 4 are in a playoff, and only the winner survives. So you got to win like 2 games, have like a little 2-game bracket, and the winner stays up in the big leagues, and the loser goes down, and then charge everybody the same money.
Oh yeah,
so the bottom league is helping fund the big leagues payday. That's how that needs to be done. We do a league in Vegas every year, and now with everybody being able to, especially after COVID, everybody doing things online, I've always wanted to get 2 leagues, and have 2 leagues, and then have the 2. We used to do this back in the day here in town, and the 2 leagues champions would meet, and maybe you get 1 or 2 players that were the same. Some guy was a dominant player, but the rest of the team, it came down to, you started. And so the 2 leagues, we get a champion, and then we had we called it the Champions League, and the 2 champions would play, and there was another payday for that. But I kind of like the relegation system.
It's a lot of fun, yeah.
You ever been relegated?
No. I'm talented.
Well, I can't wait to see that talent in the Dynasty League.
You're about to.
Oh, is it about to be
Had
unleashed?
A good draft.
Was that the Jake Brenning stool is what's going to...
No, I drafted JMG. John Michael Gillenborg.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He's going to take me to the top.
JMG.
JMG.
He couldn't. He could walk into any building in this city and no one would know who he was, but he's got a nickname.
I'm buying stock early.
JMG. That's good. Make sure you get that trademarked.
Just don't confuse him with JMV.
No. 913-810-810, the phone number. You can hit us up on the Twitter at SorenPetro, SORENPETRO. Royals back in action tonight. We mentioned the World Cup. Norway has advanced today. We'll talk about those things. Got some football talk coming for you a little bit later on as well. Frank Bull, Sam McDowell, Gary Parrish, all coming up here in the program.
The program with Soren Petro.
I don't got a lot of time to scour the defensive metrics, especially when I'm trying to catch up with Ted Lasso.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Beautiful nights. Do you have a place to entertain family and friends? How about like a sunny day and you still want to get some fresh air? How about a screened-in porch with a nice fan whirring and maybe the TV to watch you some soccer? Listen, building beautiful outdoor living spaces is what All Weather Decks does. And quite frankly, they do it better than anybody else anywhere around. Locally owned and operated for more than 15 years, All Weather Decks is Kansas City's best. That's why they carry an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. It's why they have won the Angie Super Service Award 24 times. Best of Houses Award winner? Yep, you bet. Go to their website, allweatherdecks.net, and get a free estimate started right now. If you've been looking to get rid of that rotting wood deck, that crumbling concrete or brick patio, they can do it for you. They build decks, they build patios, they build screened-in porches, they build all-season rooms. That's right, even in, extending the roof line of your house. No project is too big, no project is too complicated. All Weather Decks has incredible customer service, and they're only 6 or 7 weeks away from starting your project. Try to find that anywhere else. right? Once they have the permits, they're ready to go. The only thing holding them up from starting even sooner is getting those permits. Once they have the permits, they're ready to go. They start sooner, finish faster, and most importantly, build it better than anybody else. So you've been dreaming about entertaining family and friends outside? Well, don't dream anymore. Pick up the phone and call 913-206-1974. Tell them you heard it right here on 810. Tell them Petro sent you. Tell them you want a beautiful outdoor living space just like All Weather Decks gave to me. All right? Go to the website, allweatherdecks.net. That's allweatherdecks.net, and relax.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer Update, sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Looked like we were headed for extra time in the third consecutive match in the round of 32 until Erling Haaland scored in the 86th minute, and Norway just hung on to beat Ivory Coast in Dallas 2-1. Goalkeeper Orjan Nyland made an incredible save in the 6th minute of stoppage time to preserve the win. For Haaland, his 5th goal in this World Cup. Ivory Coast had scored the equalizer in the 74th minute, but it is Norway, the first European team into the round of 16. They'll take on Brazil on Sunday. Next up on the schedule, France and Sweden. That'll be 5 Eastern in New Jersey. Paraguay awaits the winner after their upset of Germany yesterday.
You're listening to the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We've got our friends at Paymore. We've got a couple of folks over at Paymore. You can get 20% off all in-store purchases today only at Paymore. Remember, they buy and sell your used electronics. Great place to go. Paymore in Overland Park today. Sports Radio 810's Easton and Jimmy are both over there.
Nice.
So you can go by and say hello. They'll be doing hits from 4 to 6. So get in there. Get 20% off on all in-store purchases today. It's your last chance to pick up a copy also of the Sports Radio 810 WHB World Soccer Preview Collectors Magazine. They've been going like hotcakes. You can get one of those. And you can sign up to win a $100 gift card to Talk of the Town.
That's nice.
So you got old phones, you got old laptops, you got pretty much everything but a TV. Old electronics, take it in there. You can get cash. I went in there, I got $260 for a bunch of old electronics that was just sitting around. You can do the same thing. Get over to any of the Paymore locations. We've got folks over at the Overland Park location on 135th, right by Coaches. Would be the easiest way to describe it. Go in there, and you can get cash, cold hard cash, for your old
cash,
unused electronics, plus 20% off on all in-store purchases. So find some gaming sets. You find projectors. They've got pretty much all kinds of electronics in there. Laptops. Go check it out. It's at Paymore in Overland Park, 135th, just a little bit to the, I want to make sure, just west of Antioch, right?
West of Antioch, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
just
right.
west of Antioch,
Yep.
on the south side of 135th. That is where Easton and Jimmy are. So go
Easton
say hello.
And a guy by the name of Jimmy.
Guy by the name of Jimmy. So there we have it. I want to talk a little Royals baseball. The Royals are back in action tonight. What are we wanting at this point in the year from the boys in blue?
They're kind of in this spot in where I think they've been there before, obviously, where the result of the game for me is more important. Whether if pieces that I think that they're counting on to be good when they're good are productive. If you're a Royals fan, which I am, I'd rather see them lose a game 6-5 in a game in which Jack Caglione homered, Carter Jensen homered, did that kind of thing happen. And some young pitcher, Stephen Kolek or Noah Cameron, looked good, but then the game was blown by the bullpen. Then a game that they win 4-1 behind, Seth Lugo and other things happen that are not looking to the future. I'd rather lose a game that helps, gives you good signs, a good promise for the future than that. We're finally at that point. It was a long time before we got to that point. It didn't happen last year or the year before, but that's where I am now. That's how I judge whether I like the game or not.
Yeah, I think it's Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione.
Mm-hmm. At this point, yeah.
That's
the only ones of the future that are currently playing.
I think Michael Massey, you'd like to see Michael Massey stay healthy the rest of the year and look like a 20 home run hitting second baseman.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see Salvi turn the corner and hear some story about how he got off on his batting, but they fixed it. But,
That seems so unlikely.
And I have no problem with Salvi finishing out the year this year as long as he's not taking at-bats away from young players, Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione, and that's a difficult spot based upon the players that they have, and not forcing Jack Caglione to play the outfield.
Yep.
Yep.
We can't have nights where, like Friday night, where Salvador Perez is at first and Jack Caglione's at right field.
I can't stress what outfielder is Salvador Perez hitting better than.
I know. So they worried about putting John Rave out there. I mean, he can't be. That's who started in right field the next day when Caglione was at first. But why not put him out there? I think he's probably just as good right now offensively as Salvador Perez, if not better. He's good, slugging in the 340s.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, he's got 10 home runs. Yes, because that's all he's doing is loading up and trying to hit home runs. I think maybe the worst thing to happen, I am open to the idea that he's going to hit 318 and then calm down, and then we're going to be like, oh, there's the old Salvi. But he is an out waiting to happen. Mm-hmm. And have any of the home runs been ones that, I'm sure there have been a couple of them that are pretty good, but I mean, they're pitching to him, but I don't know why. We've said for years we don't know why anybody throws him a strike.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't know why you don't hit the mascot every time.
Yeah. He loads up for going for the downs, and sometimes the bat runs into the ball.
How many times has Salvador Perez
occasionally
finished his swing on one knee? I mean, it's like every at bat, there's one that ends up like that.
About half the time. I mean,
because he's reaching and trying to lift so hard that he ends up falling over in the box. I mean, every time.
Breaking balls low and away. Did the was it a league of their own? High fastball, she can't hit him, can't lay off of him.
Yeah.
Breaking balls low and away, can't hit him, can't lay off him.
Yeah.
That's him right now. And she said every time you see a guy throw a 88 middle in, and you're just going straight. What do you know who's at the plate? How can you throw that pitch to that guy? You don't have to throw anything like that. And that's the only pitches he hits out seemingly anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a straight fastball or a breaking ball that flattens out.
I mean, we honestly, we're going to find out, like, we're halfway, like, there's none of the well, you got to get to Memorial Day, you got to get to, all those are in that. We're about ready to put 4th of July in the rearview mirror. We're going to quickly, you get to the 2/3 mark real fast.
Yes.
Because it's from 81 to 108. So it's like a month later, you're 2/3 of the way done through the year. And then like 5 seconds after that, you're 3/4 of the way done with the year. So like, if it's not now about, okay, who are we, we're putting out the best player. Now there's no way that as long as Vinny Pasquantino's down, Jack Caglianone cannot be in the outfield.
No. 108 is 4 weeks from today, July 28th. That's, you're talking about the holiday and the All-Star break and something like, oh, wait, that's 2 weeks. Oh, that's today.
Yeah. And that's with all the days off for the All-Star break.
Yes.
So
having 4 days off.
Yeah, listen, I want to see Carter Jensen all the time. I want to see Jack Caglianone playing first base all the time. I want to see what is potentially the future of this team. Then I want to see what they draft. That's coming up. That's not today, but that's the 11th. Mm-hmm. So I want to see what that's a week from Saturday.
Yep.
I want to see what they draft, and then I want to see the trade deadline. I want to see Luinder Avila in the starting rotation. Find relievers anywhere. I don't care what putts you got to bring up, how much it's got to be a parade. You're at this point now, like, I think he's a reliever, but you think he might be a starter, so he starts the rest of the year, and let's find out.
Yeah.
Unless it's like 1 2/3, 2 1/3, 1 1/3. Okay, then we found out. But let's at the end of this year, let's know what he is.
Yes.
Is he reliever or is he starter?
That is a great across the board sentence to apply to almost everyone who's going to be on this team. At the end of the year, know what he is. You can't go into this offseason going, we're really not sure if he's this, or whoever it is, he's this or that. No. There shouldn't be anybody on the 25-man roster that you don't know what to expect from them or what they're going to be moving forward. You've got the opportunity now to figure that out. No one wants to be 35 and 50, but that's where you are. The best thing you can do with that situation is to use it as a proving ground to find out who guys are over the next 3 months. And
if there's some statement made to the effect of like, well, we got to play Starling Marte because we got to try to prop up his trade value. Come on. If you've got to prop up the trade value, you know what the value is.
There's no trade value. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. And that's the thing one of the things about Salvador Perez. A year ago, there was some value because he was performing. Now, I think I stated this yesterday, ask 10 Royals fans who say they don't want Salvador Perez traded. Ask them why. They never mentioned that he's a good player. It's all about legacy. Well, if all you can come up with for a guy being here is legacy, then of what value is he? And Marte doesn't even have that.
Yeah, who's trading for Salvador Perez right now?
Nobody. No one. Because there's no. I mean, it's only a name, and it's a name that a lot of fans, even in other cities, because he plays for the Royals. It isn't like even a guy who is a big star in New York or L.A. or something. There's no value to any other franchise but the Royals right now.
I'm going to take Tommy's call here in a second, but then I want to play the game. Who's here in 3 years? on this roster. Like this team, and they're winning. Who's here in 3 years? Think about that. 913-3-810-810. Tommy, you're in the program. What's going on, Tommy?
Not too much. I'm sorry I can't help you with the Royals today.
That's all right, buddy.
Hey, when it comes to relegation, when it comes to our sports, you were asking what do you foresee happening in 20, 30 years?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see it ever happening in our professional sports. I think there are too many jobs to be lost, too many billion-dollar venues to be stagnant, and for us not to have sports in those stadiums. I mean, the New York Jets would have been relegated over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. I just don't think you can lose those kind of media markets when you're having billion-dollar TV deals, and those TV deals are built on, hey, we're getting the New York market for sure, and I don't think you're going to have that anywhere as a thought process when it comes to our professional teams. And I remember you and Bob Glover had a discussion about, hey, what happens? Are we going to have NFL are we going to have teams in Europe? And you talked about the possibilities of having a home base in New York and 3 or 4 or 5 teams over in Europe. That conversation was 16 years ago. I remember you guys having it in the summer of in 2010.
Yeah.
Since then, we've gone from probably 4 international games to 10 or 12. So in that 16 years, we've doubled or tripled it. But I think we found, a sweet spot when it comes to international games. You know, we're getting some blowback with these players not wanting to travel to Australia, Brazil. You know, still the money, they're still cashing the checks. I still get it. But I just think the NFL model is here.
Well, there's let's be clear. As long as we're going to talk dollars and finance and economics, there's no blowback about the international games. There's none. If you're going to quantify things in dollars in stadiums, and let's talk dollars in stadiums, bitches and moans of players that signed a collective bargaining agreement are not a factor. You are right. They are expanding all of the international venues. How far they're going, how many they're going to, they're expanding them all. And it may be that that's what it ends up being. They use 1 or 2 games from everybody's schedule for a little merry-go-round, and everybody travels out there, and that's the way. And they keep all the teams here. But since you bring up what I brought up 16 years ago, and it was to have a division ultimately in Europe, but it would start with one team. And how it would work was, yes, the concept was that they would build a facility that could hold 2 teams to train all week north of New York City, and they would build one in Los Angeles. That has been on the board for a long, long time. And in fact, it's one of the reasons why LA took so long. And then finally, what's his name? Kroenke said, screw this, I'm going. Stop me. And there were a lot of owners that were mad at him. I've said that too over the years, because they had this vision for what they were going to build, which was a 2-team facility that would also have rooms for 2 more teams to practice, or at least 1 more team to practice. So if European teams or East Coast teams were doing a West Coast trip, you could go there and you'd have meeting rooms and, you know, nice apartments, let's say, for the players and everything all set up for where you could basically funnel the teams around. That was the plan then. I don't know that that's the plan now. I mean, everything changes over time. But I do know the other part of the plan was that they would have 1 international game, 2, 3, 4. They would build it up to where they would get to where there were 8 in one city. They're getting there with London. I mean, London is the target. They're now playing, 4, I think, in London? And the concept was they would get to a full home season ticket package in London, and they would start trying to sell that. And if with various teams coming, they could sell 30, 40,000 season tickets, then they knew it would be easy to put a team there, and they would have the season ticket home base, and you could get it. And that would be the first team to get there. When is it going to happen? Everything takes longer. It clearly took longer than the NFL thought. They've abandoned ship on some of the things, but some of the things that were going on at that time that Bob and I talked about are absolutely happening exactly the way we said they would.
Okay, well, like I said, just a few things that I brought up aren't happening.
Well, the
yet.
relegation part about the stadiums, we opened with the fact, Tommy, that it's not happening in my lifetime. So I don't know what was new on that statement. I'm telling you, I laid out the parameter a couple hundred years from now. I guess that part you missed. 913-3-810-810. Crush, you're in the program. What's up, Crush?
Yeah, I just want to say some good stuff about Sal.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to be in the MLB Hall of Fame, but he's definitely going to be in ours. And I'm thinking, is he going to have his number retired? That's a big deal. I mean, maybe go to him and tell him, listen, the people adore you. The whole city adores you. We're going to retire your number. You're going to be the assistant to the general manager. You see where I'm going with this. Keep up the good work.
All right, I appreciate it. Yeah, I think Salvi's going to get that royal treatment, and I don't think it ended great with Frank White, and they still retired his number.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's clear that the manager thought Salvador Perez needed a break, and Salvi didn't. Who was right?
The manager.
Based upon the performance of Salvador Perez since, the manager was right. I think he needs a lot of breaks. I think he needs to play less. I think the only chance of him being a productive player on the Royals, right, because you just can't be an absolute negative. Forget zero on offense. We now quantify baseball, and we have negative wars. You can't be a negative and get in the lineup every day.
No.
And so, listen, it comes to the end of all great players. Everyone's career ends. It never ends. You think Eric Hosmer wanted his career to end bouncing from, what, the Padres to the Cubs to the Red Sox? Didn't he have like 2 stops at the end and ultimately being told, nah, we'll just pay you to not play? It's not how he wanted it to end.
No.
It's not how it never is how they want it to end. Like maybe Jim Brown, who went out with another rushing title and then went and made more money making movies. Okay. Greatest running back of all time when he walked away. That's it. That might be it. John Elway, back-to-back championships on his way out the door, still playing at a high level, even though he's breaking down and hurting. Okay. But then the rest of it, sitting around here making decisions based upon Salvador Perez's career ending the way we all want it to end is a complete waste of time. Because it's 0.1% chance of actually happening, no matter how much you try to make it happen. So do what's best for the ball club, always. All right, how many? How many players are on the team right now that 2030 the farewell to Kauffman Stadium
Mm-hmm.
en route to a division championship. How many are on this team?
I first made the list of what I thought it was. Then I went back and I looked at how many players on the 2010 team were on the 2013 team that became an 86-win team. And there were 8. My list had 8. So I'm kind of in line. 5 position players, 3 pitchers.
Okay. Carter Jensen, Jack Caglione,
Mhm.
Michael Garcia, Bob Witt, and Vinny.
Michael Massey.
Well, Michael Massey, okay.
Pitchers, Avila, Cameron, Lynch. I don't have Kolick. I have Lynch. I tried not to take anybody over that was 30 or older.
I think Kolick's got a better chance of being in the rotation.
Probably so.
I think Lynch is traded. He could still be here as a reliever, but I think he's traded.
I've got the same list except Massey and Lynch. I think eventually Massey flames out, and the Royals just move on.
Yeah. Because
Maybe one more than
he's going to start getting expensive in the
Yeah.
Like you're going to be like, we can get this for less than what we're going to pay in arbitration. Let's just let him go. I think it's a huge second half for him. He needs to produce.
Yeah.
In a big, big way.
Yeah.
It's a really big second half for Massey. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think everybody else will be attrition and turnover. But you don't have Vinny. You don't have him signing Vinny.
I don't.
I'm okay with that because
Yeah.
I'll make you the case. If they love Vinny so much, why haven't they put him on a multi-year deal?
Right.
They signed Bobby Witt Jr., they signed Michael Garcia. They gave Vinny a 2-year deal to avoid arbitration next year. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to be 29 next year. And what do we really, I mean, what is, he's had a 30-100 and a season in which he was 20 plus and would have been 100 and he not gotten hurt. It isn't like there's a track record of him, him being a massive run producer that you could say, all right, he's going to be great into his 30s.
I've seen enough to believe that he will be, well, this year was a big setback.
Yeah. If he doesn't lose the power for good.
Well, but even
if
this year was a setback before he got hurt. I wonder if the hand was hurting, if the bone was partially cracked, and that finally did it. That put him over the top because he just wasn't himself.
Nope. We kept waiting for that to happen. It just never came in.
The reason to not have Vinny Pasquantino on that list is just because he has not been able to stay healthy.
Yeah, which is why I didn't.
So, and you've got Jack Caglione.
I do. Yeah, or that. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
It's been me personally. Yeah, I got him.
But so like when you if you view it from that standpoint, it ought to get easier to say, okay, all the rest of them is no problem.
Right.
Like it should not be a problem to move any of them at the deadline or in the offseason.
Yep.
I mean, and that's why if you're like, well, that, we offered it up 3-4 weeks ago. Are we talking about 27 or are we talking about 28 when we talk about the future and how the Royals should be dealing? Because if you can get an okay big leaguer right now back in some kind of trade at a position you need, or a pretty good prospect that's AAA and ready to come up and play in the big leagues the rest of the year, or you can get an A-ball stud, a high A, that's like maybe on the brink of going to AA. So you're like AA, AAA, you're like, okay, second half of 28, we got a guy. Who would you take back in a trade? If you're playing for 27, you might take the lesser player that's more ready. But if you're playing for 28, then you're going to go for the higher talent. I think you should always go for the higher talent. And over the long run, you'll fill your system up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they play this out at the trade deadline, and definitely interesting how they play it out in the offseason.
All right, who's the Rays' single-season home run leader? Brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Hour number 2 of the program begins right now. We welcome the Godfather, Frank Bowl, brought to you by our friends at Applause, Custom Sight and Sound, Kansas City's best when it comes to in-home theaters and smart home technology. It's only one place. It's Applause. Applause Custom Sight and Sound. You can find them online right now at applausetheater.com. If you need rocket fast Wi-Fi integrated throughout your home, maybe throughout your office. How about everybody in the office being able to work together? How about a smart conference room where you could have a meeting with anyone anywhere around the world? Applause does that. They do it all the time. They're Kansas City's best. Find them online at applausetheater.com. Frank, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Are you enjoying the early stages of the knockout round of the World Cup?
Immeasurably.
Yeah.
I was up, I usually try to go to bed a little earlier than last night's final extra time, and then the shootout situation, you get the 2 15-minute deals, and then you've got the shootout.
Yep.
So that
Except you were referring to the Germany shootout. That's when you would usually go to bed.
The one at 4.
By the way,
day.
let's call it. It's PKs, penalty kicks.
I know it is.
A shootout is the old hockey.
Is the old hockey deal.
Version for it.
Right.
But
the nomenclature still escapes me, but you know what I'm talking about. So.
But you're becoming a fan.
I've always I've been a fan of the World Cup ever since Pele, because I was young when we heard this one name guy playing for Brazil that was the bicycle kick was he scored the goal with a bicycle kick, and everybody's like, oh my God, who is this guy? And then he comes to New York and goes and plays for the Cosmos back in New York back in the 70s. And I think that was what really propelled U.S. soccer, was the fact that Pele shows up at the Cosmos and all of a sudden they're playing soccer. Here's this guy we've been hearing about since we were kids. I think he really had a tremendous, because everybody, who's better, Pele or Messi or Ronaldo or whoever, it's all relative, I think, compared to, the times. But I think Pele was tremendously influential in this country to help get soccer kick-started at that time.
I'm glad you brought that up, because there's kind of this feeling that we only give credit if you're the last one to get the job done. The guy who pushed it over the line, that's who we give all the credit to. And, one day maybe soccer will be as popular as NBA or NHL or Major League Baseball. I don't know that football, I think I think football would have a chance to make a run at soccer globally just because of the dynamics of it.
They're trying to, too, the NFL, the way they're trying to expand overseas.
But yeah, I think there's whenever that day happens, somebody will say this was the guy who did it, because it'll be the guy who took it the last 10 feet. But because it was the NASL, North American Soccer League,
NASL, yeah.
Because that didn't work, people think Pele didn't do anything.
Right.
But they made a movie with Pele in it, and Sylvester Stallone and Michael Caine, Victory.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Prisoners of War, right?
Prisoners of War, World War II.
That's right.
It's a really good movie. It's worth. Max von Sydow is in it, who you'll recognize. He was for people my age, Ming the Merciless in Flash Gordon.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
That's the same guy.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, he was in a number of things back in those days.
He's
great.
He's so
Exorcist.
distinctive looking.
Exorcist. He was the priest in The Exorcist.
Absolutely. So distinctive looking.
Yeah. By the way, check out, they just showed the main guy from Norway. I don't know why I can't remember his name.
Holland.
His name is a country. You think I'd remember it. Sitting there wearing a cowboy hat.
Oh, gosh.
How great is that? He's playing down in Dallas.
Yeah, he is.
He's sitting in the stands wearing a cowboy hat.
I saw a clip of him. I don't know if it was like the team meal or something, but he's sitting there up against the wall. There's a mirror next to him. And the shot from whoever's holding the phone is, you can see both. And he looks over and he sees himself and he kind of jerks and goes, wow, he's so good he scared himself.
Yeah.
Such a force. It's ooh, who was that beast?
But to your point about Pele, it really did. They didn't keep that league going. Mm-hmm. But he did plant the seed. He did get people thinking soccer, and that time over here, and it was a big moment. And I think this will not take it all the way to the finish line. It won't mean that the MLS is now getting higher ratings than the NFL, but I think it will add to the enjoyment. It'll bring new fans to the game, and it will be a part of the equation for U.S. soccer moving forward.
Yeah, and trying to, get themselves up there into the top echelon worldwide when it comes to a World Cup situation. The other thing is 1930, I know they were in the semifinals, right? They make They finished third, right? They won their the U.S. in 1930, right? That was
the very first one.
Yeah, that was their big deal, but there was no TV. You know what I mean? There's no TV back then or any of that. And I think it was a blip in the back of the newspaper somewhere. Yeah, I finished. I think they got into the quarters or the semis, and then they lost a game, and the other two teams, and they went on to move on to whoever won that championship that year. And I think the U.S. finished third because they had a third place game.
Yeah, they lost to Argentina.
I don't know.
In the semifinals. Yes,
Yeah.
they do have a third place game.
Yeah.
It'll be played the day before the championship game.
So they lost to Argentina, and then they beat somebody for third place, right? Who did they beat for third place? Yeah.
Well, I'm not seeing a third place game here.
Well, then maybe they didn't finish third.
Why do you come on the
I'm
show
sorry,
to
I
make things
stuff
up,
up.
Frank?
I don't know. That's just what it is.
Well,
Okay.
Hold on. I do remember something about it. I'm trying to find.
But what I'm trying to say, back in 1930, when the U.S. did so well, there's no TV, there was no interest, and it didn't propel anything. It didn't get anything going, generated here. And I think that's the Pele effect. Definitely had an effect on our soccer.
Okay, here's what I'm reading, and of course
Okay.
it's from Wikipedia, so you can.
This
put
is true.
down. The end of the championship, the captains of the U.S. and Yugoslavia both received bronze medals.
Okay.
Yet a FIFA technical committee report on the '86 World Cup included full retrospective rankings of all teams at all previous World Cup finals. This report ranked the United States third
Okay.
and Yugoslavia fourth due to a better goal difference on other's identical
There you
records.
go. Take that.
So the Helms Foundation, third place.
So we've got a Helms third in the World Cup,
Nice.
is what I'm
I'm
hearing.
never gonna let KU.
You nailed it, Curtis.
No, not till those banners come down.
Absolutely nailed it.
Helms. What was
There
Goodwill?
were
what was
13
there was a
teams
Fields.
in that
Yeah.
field that year.
It was the Fields medal in Goodwill Hunting.
Is that what it was?
The Fields.
Yeah.
Oh, is this about my metal?
Yeah.
It's not about your medal.
Stupid Fields medal. God, what a great movie that was. Whew. Gosh. Yeah, but I do believe that, and I think this will go a long way. If the United States now is moving up, and they're getting a lot of good vibes here. They got to win this game against Bosnia. They are basically a pretty heavy favorite. I think U.S. is 30, 28 something in the world, and Bosnia is 62.
U.S. is 15 in the
15,
FIFA rankings.
and Bosnia is 60 something, right in there somewhere.
You know what I feel bad for?
Huh.
Herzegovina. But it's just I'm here too. He said, this is Bosnia. It's Bosnia,
Herzegovina?
Whatever. They're just like,
It is Bosnia and Herzegovina,
Yeah,
isn't
right.
it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
U.S. in the rankings coming in was 15, and Bosnia was. You think I would have looked this up?
That's
knowing it was
okay.
their match.
I was just spitting stuff out.
61.
There we are.
Pretty good,
Close,
Frank.
yeah. Pretty good. It's close.
Yeah.
So they're a pretty heavy favorite. It'd be great to move to, and everybody's a little worried because of the last game they played, which they were playing basically substitutes most of the night. So this is going to be a big match, and it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be exciting as hell. I think this has been great. It has brought us in this area right into the heart of this World Cup, because we're hosting.
We're one of, if
those
not
World-
the highest rated market
the highest.
for the matches. It's not,
Yes.
the first night or two, I don't know that we were the highest, but I think we were the last one, which speaks to a little bit the fact that we've gone from, I think, fifth the first night to first, or maybe the first weekend or something, they were fifth, to now being first. Kind of speaks to the fact that it playing in our city brought even more people to it here in
Yes.
town.
And the rating, the share, they were tied with Austin and San Francisco on the share, but the rating, 3.8. Boston at 2 is closer to St. Louis at 10 than they are to the U.S. at 3.80.
Yeah.
That's how, it's a low number, but they're outpacing everyone by a wide margin in rating. Share, they are tied for the lead, but
I don't know how that's.
I don't know how it is either.
I don't know how that's even possible.
Maybe the different percentages we took them two different.
Well, I mean, because the rating is the
Sample
percentage
sizes.
of all the televisions in
That
your
are
market.
on, yeah.
The share is the percentage of all the TVs that are on.
Maybe.
So I would think we would have been better in
Few-
share, but
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, usually you look more at share than you do rating because
Yeah.
it's like if they ain't turning it on, we can't make them turn the TV on,
Right.
right? So if they ain't turning it on,
Yeah.
but we got the higher rating, so that I guess more people, a bigger percentage of our people are turning on the TV
And watch
to
it.
make a point of this as
Yeah.
opposed
Yeah.
to others. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been great. And I guess Netherlands is gone, which is too bad. I guess they're already on their way home. Algeria is moving.
Now they're going to stay here.
I thought
They're just
you
going
mean Netherlands?
for forever.
Yeah.
You know, the people come to KC
Yeah.
and they'd say, I like it here.
Yeah, Algeria is
Netherlands
moving,
team's just gonna move
moving
into a big-
closer to where they play next. But Colombia came here. Colombia will reside here because they're playing
set up
here.
to
Yeah,
play.
They're set up to play here. So I think that's pretty cool the way they can do that because a team leaves. Well, that leaves an open. Oh, yeah, we have space. You guys want to come here? Come on over.
Well, have you been over by where England's staying?
No, Meadowbrook.
There are signs in everyone's yard, "Go England."
Oh God, that's awesome.
There are English flags. There are people that
Yeah.
are flying English flags.
How about
like-
Algeria is the same way in Lawrence?
Oh, absolutely.
Did
Unbelievable.
you see the sign at the stadium?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you,
Lawrence.
Yeah.
I mean, just what a
I mean, that goes
an endless supply of great stuff.
international. I mean, that's
Yeah.
it's on the broadcast. It's right there. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
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 I think it's been great.
Algeria and Lawrence, Kansas.
Yeah.
Like what an unexpected
I mean,
love
it's a
affair.
match made in heaven.
I know, it's like, wait a minute.
I mean, that's Tinder's easiest, algorithm
Hook
right
up.
there.
Hook up. It's right there, brother.
Yes.
That's it.
That's the first one. We ain't even swiping.
Yeah.
A small
That's
country
my
in
first date.
Western
Go.
Africa and
know.
a college town in the middle of the United States.
Yeah.
They met. It's a Hallmark Hall of Fame movie, Hallmark love affair.
Well, hopefully,
World Cup romance.
I mean, I think it is a pretty good example of I don't care where people are from in this world.
Yeah.
We're more alike than we are different.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I agree with that totally. It's amazing. You see this happen on the world stage, and you just go, "Why can't all of us just get along? And why can't
If
we
yous
all?"
can change,
Yeah,
and
Please
I can
don't. Please
change.
stop.
Sorry.
Please stop.
yeah.
That's the first thing that popped into my head.
I know.
I know you thought of it too.
I know. I hate it.
You didn't?
I hate that. I don't. It's such a crappy, such a stupid premise in that
Well,
movie.
yeah.
I don't want to make it live forever.
Oh, it's going to live forever.
No, but it should be used when things are crappy,
Yeah,
not when
that's
things
true.
are good.
Right.
Right. It's not universal.
True. This is the proof that that's not the case.
Yeah. I just and I think the other thing it shows is like how sports can unify people.
Oh, absolutely.
They were all in for this. We all like a sporting event. And I texted my buddy when Germany lost. I said, "Hey, buddy, tough way to go." He said, "It's why we love sports."
Yeah.
He said, that's what makes it great.
I saw a phrase posted. It said that you're not a stranger. Two people aren't strangers if they like the same band. But that's that's true with sports too. I remember one of the things that sticks out to me. I was out with some friends. We pulled into, it was a Friday night. We were listening to the Royals game. This is when they just started. This is in 14, late in 14. Pulled into this like a QT or something. And we're waiting for the inning to end. And there's a car next to us. And the inning lasted 10 more minutes. So we finally got done. It was a good thing. And we got out and the person next to us got out at the same time. And I go, listen to the game. He goes, yep. We were sitting there side by side. Had no idea we're both in the same thing. High five. How about them Royals? I mean, that's we've seen it here, and a lot of Chiefs are the same way. But that's one of the great things about sports to me is that if you have a healthy interest in it, don't go too crazy with it and let successes and failures totally change your life. It could really join people who have nothing else in common. I mean, got people high-fiving at parades that you would never see them in the same room.
30,000 of your closest friends and all dressed in orange.
But
Walking
how
down
about them
the highway.
Chiefs brings them all together,
Sure
man.
it does, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Nothing else does that besides music.
And the love for their sport and their country
Yes.
is so evident. It's just incredible. It's just
and don't you think
very
like,
emotional.
Globally, the Orange Walk,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that parade got global. Like people in New York were watching that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I was in New York when that happened, and there were people in New York that were talking about that.
Yeah.
And I also think maybe, what do you guys think of this? We are a really patriotic nation. And I think there's part of us that admires that in another nation. When you see a nation come over here like Algeria or whatever,
Yeah.
the passion they have for their country is something we relate to.
Yeah.
To some extent.
And to watch them all sing their national anthems.
Yeah.
You know, as they're standing on the sideline, the pride they have. Guys crying.
Yeah.
You know, tears coming down their face.
And
this is before the game.
Yep.
I mean, they're just getting ready to play and they're crying.
And there have been some great moments after the game. We saw after Brazil knocked off Japan yesterday.
Yeah.
Before the Brazilian players celebrated, they went over and
bowed.
They were comforting the Japan players.
Yeah.
And I saw a clip last night. There was a fan of the Japanese team. He was just crushed. He was in tears because the team lost. And the fans of the other teams that were there, team that was there, and other fans that weren't even for either team, were coming up and like supporting him and telling him, "Hey, man, you guys were great. You guys were." And at some point, like 5 minutes into it, they just lifted the guy up on their shoulders and were going, "Yeah!" And they were cheering the guy and his team. And when he got down, the tears were gone, and he looked like the happiest person in the world.
Yeah, right.
And that happened because of sports and the shared humanity. I think maybe I'm maybe making too much of this, but when you watch that video, you're just like, that's fantastic. There's so many stories of that.
How much will it all go down the toilet if the U.S. loses to Bosnia?
No, it's gone. It's over.
What will Thursday be like? If they...
I mean,
I'm going to tell you something. It'll be a dent. I'll tell you that. It'll be
a giant thud,
and they're going to be PO'd.
And I really think they're almost like they need to get by that, and they almost need to get by Belgium. I think a lot of people are like, no, that's winnable. Which has become, they'll win that.
Right. That's
that's winnable is like, Belgium didn't look that good. So, okay, we're going to beat them. Well, Belgium's 10.
Especially with that, there's a little bit of inflated, right or wrong, because of what Paraguay did. That U.S. that win looks a little bit more legit. Maybe people are bumping up some of the expectations because of the whatever that factor is. So who knows?
Yeah.
And how much will what happens after that here is tainted if the U.S. loses? Are people going to be as excited about the game that's played on Friday? Maybe a little bit, but maybe a little bit less. Because part of that is now they're in a position where you can look at the bracket and go, who can we get? Yeah. And that's when fans really start getting interested. When you can look at the standings and figure out who do we have to pass to get in the first place, the wild card, that's when it's fun. Yeah. And that's where the U.S. is right now. You can look and say, who's the next game? Can we beat that team? Can they beat that team? Can they beat that team? And then, as soon as that goes away,
right. And our stadium's going to be. There's still games coming, so that'll keep the enthusiasm big here. Anyway, with the fan fest, and the stadium's going to be packed with the the next two games that are coming up. So I think that'll stay, but it'll be a big thud if the United States loses. But my deal is this happened at the Masters. The first time I really saw something like this was when Matsuyama won the Masters, and after it was all over and everybody sort of cleared off the 18th. They got a video of his caddy going back to 18. And the tradition is you get to take that flag off the 18th hole and give it to the golfer. And his caddy went out there and he bowed to the course and to the flag before he picked. And then yesterday when Japan lost, the manager went out, he bowed to the fans, and then all the players came out and bowed to their fans. After losing the heartbreaking game.
A lot of amazing visuals coming out of this.
The Japanese with their trash bags cleaning up after themselves.
God, did you see the locker rooms? After they
it's
leave
amazing,
the locker room?
The players and everything clean up and leave the locker room immaculate.
And who beat that?
But the fans are waving trash bags as part of their celebration, and those trash bags are to then clean up their own trash.
Clean up their own stuff.
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
I think when we
could we take a note?
Brazil.
Okay, Brazil. A couple of the Brazilian players came into their locker room and were helping them clean up their locker room.
I saw that. I think what we talked about what the expectations were coming in. We just talked about the games and the fans being at. We didn't. I think there are a lot of things. Maybe it's just me because I haven't followed it as strongly and closely as I have this year. There are so many things, positive things that have come out of this. Mm-hmm. event to this point that had nothing to do with the game itself that have really made, I think, drawn me and other fans that would consider themselves casual fans to the event. Yeah. It's more than just the games are the canvas, but everything, so many things that are around it have sprung up that I think a lot of people who are really into it weren't really expecting it, but have just added another flavor to this whole experience.
Does it
and we
make
still
you,
got 2 more weeks to go.
Does it make you want to go to those countries?
Not particularly.
Really?
No,
I
don't think
really
so.
want to go to Japan.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I definitely want to go to Japan.
I've been to Japan twice.
Yeah,
That's with the Chiefs both times. Yeah,
I want to go. I mean, like when I'm like I'm so impressed by their fans and their team as people. Like I want to go see what it's like there in their country.
Yeah,
you know.
Randy
was just there. Randy went several months ago and just loved it. Said it was fantastic.
Seth Kaiser got back about 7 or 8 days ago.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, he wrote all about it.
And like you see then the video of, you hear about this Cape Verde, right? And you're going, Cape Verde.
I've priced hotels.
I'm saying
the islands on the west side.
The video. I went, oh my God.
Or no, is that the Ivory Coast? Wait a minute.
Ivory Coast is the one that's
Where's Cape Verde?
It's off of the African coast.
On the west side?
I think it's on the west
Where's
side.
the Ivory Coast then?
That I don't know.
Okay. One of them I looked at. I think it was Cape Verde. I think
it was too.
And it's a chain of islands and where the resorts are. And I'm like, not bad pricing. Travel time. What's the quickest flight? 28 hours. Well, that's a bitch.
Now, Cape Verde actually is.
It ain't going to be spring break.
Cape Verde actually is on the continent of Africa. It's not separated, so it's.
So then it was the Ivory Coast that I was looking at.
Yeah, it's close to Nigeria. So yeah, that's I remember that and thinking, you said how much?
28 hours was the quickest.
Whew. Bit of a haul.
It'd be a little better if you lived in Chicago or New York, because it's.
Right.
I think it's you hit someplace in Europe and then go south.
Yeah,
you're basically going over the top and down is the route, not across the ocean. And so I was like, we're not going.
Well, that flight
not going anytime soon.
Hey, listen,
that's a retirement trip.
So. That flight to Japan's no joy either.
That's a retirement trip too.
That one's no joy.
Although I can't wait for Seth's next missive, Chief in the Far East newsletter. You should just change it for 1 week.
That'd be great. That's awesome.
If he was filing anything from over there, it should have been the Chief in the Far East. I like it. When he travels to Australia, the Chief Down Under.
Chief's Down Under.
Newsletter.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like it. Yeah, that'll be great. No, but it does. Like I see like Norway, I'm like, I want to go there.
Norway would be cool.
Just like when they show a little something about the country, I'm like, oh yeah, let's go there. That would be great.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think
I got Spain's on my bucket list too.
I definitely, I think.
And that's where the next World Cup is: Spain, Portugal, and Morocco.
And Paraguay, Uruguay, and Argentina. They open.
Oh, that's right.
They have opening matches. One in Argentina, one in Paraguay,
South
one in
America.
Uruguay.
Yeah, right.
The Centennial.
Yeah. All right, Frank. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you giddy about the Royals coming home?
What else about the World Cup that you?
Yeah. I was going to say this.
We have imagined that in March. We'd be sitting here on June 30th going, we have to talk about the Royals. Let's talk about the World Cup more.
Yeah,
crazy,
we talked some football
Not
season
part
to
of the
me
plan.
starts next week when I go to Tahoe.
Yeah.
Like that's
American Century.
That's always kind of our kickoff to the football season. So I'm trying to hold off on Chiefs topics and stuff, and then we got the training camp, and we still have a couple of months, even next week. I mean, we kick it off because there's lots of football guests there, but
all the Chiefs stuff got done so early because of the World Cup.
Yeah,
we haven't had much to talk about as far as
but so I am hugely disappointed that we don't have better Royals conversations to have now because how the season's gone.
But you still have to talk about it. I mean, it's important stuff.
Technically, we don't have to.
Well, you do. It's just sports stuff in Kansas City.
I am like it's gone so wrong compared to what it is. The one thing we didn't touch on earlier that I wanted to mention was earlier this year we said, well, the one thing I can feel good about, or maybe it was even in the off season or spring training, that the 82 wins last year said to me, we don't have to worry about 100 losses anymore.
Yeah.
Those days are gone. And that's the most disappointing thing to it. I can look at it now and understand. I don't think there's any incompetence. There are things I disagree with. I disagreed with at the time. I disagreed with not moving Cole Reagans for an everyday outfielder if you could get it, because I was assuming that he would be hurt.
Yep.
Right? And I think that's played out.
Yep.
But there's no incompetence. I want to be clear as we go down this road. Not anywhere do I think, oh, these are a bunch of boobs that don't know what they're doing. They're currently on pace to lose 105 games. Or I'm sorry, 95 games. Yeah. 67 and 95. So, a couple more injuries, a couple more skids, and all of a sudden they're right there at around 100 losses. That's very disappointing. And I also hatched on, was it yesterday? It was yesterday. What it would look like. What are the signs we look for where we say, okay, we might have to change managers?
Yeah.
Because I think that's now on the table. When you're headed towards a season like this, when you lose 22-1 in a game and 35-3, was it? 34-3, 35-3.
Yeah, 13-2.
Over 2 games, your third baseman's taking a nut shot on a throw. That's the kind of goofy, comedic stuff that happened when the Royals were just a bad baseball team. I do think we begin to have the discussion and say, all right, what are the parameters for having to change a manager? What would it say to you?
Well,
they just gave him an extension. They're not doing it this year, and I don't see what would lead me to believe that he's out this year. Lose 100 games, and he will go into the year on the hot seat.
Oh, immediately, yeah.
But
if he has a bad month.
But I also think it's possible for them to come home maybe as good as 74 and 88, 70 and 92, I think is definitely that's absolutely a possibility. Hell, they're on pace for 65 wins. So, or 67 wins. So, they could come home with a total that's not going to be that bad. But what are the things that you would say, if I see this, that's when I'm like, okay, it might be time.
Yeah, you have to check out the clubhouse. What's going on inside that clubhouse? Okay, how are these guys handling this? Is there a lot of finger pointing going on? What's going on? They go through another 8-10 game losing streak. The fans are just going to revolt. If they're not revolting already. And I just think that's the other thing you have to look. You have to sort of somehow, despite the fact you look at next year, next year looks like a mess. Okay, I don't know how much baseball you're going to play next year. Okay, if they can't get it, I think this is going to be a long strike. If you ask me, this just looks like a long lockout to me. So you have to weigh that as well. Okay, we're coming off this bad season. Next year, we might not even play until July, or we may not play any season at all. We won't have any playoffs, whatever. Not even a shortened season. So this is a very precarious time for this franchise in that sort of a situation. And I think he very much is on the hot seat, even though they did sign him.
To the extent to which they poll the clubhouse, you'd have to be certain people, right? Because if a player is the reason why they're not performing, then asking him, lost you as a manager. Would it have to be the
I don't think it's
or
as much like we're gonna ask the players, do we keep him or does he go?
But at least try to
are the players focused?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are the players playing good baseball? Are the players still preparing the right way? Are they taking it? Are they becoming half-assed in what they're doing?
Because the players you'd want the input from, if you did, are the ones who wouldn't bury their guy anyway.
Do we see any signs of the clubhouse being a problem right now in your mind?
No,
I don't either.
I don't see any of that.
No,
zero.
I'll check it out tonight.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that when I've been out there.
Curtis looks around. 3 guys. This place sucks. I'm not going to try tomorrow. 1 out.
Fire Q.
Go over and put a mic at that guy.
Yeah.
Be a good story.
Always be rolling.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, from that standpoint, I don't see that yet, but I want to know who's in charge of the base running. mean, I'm not going to beat this dead horse.
Any deader.
No, but I mean, I don't get it.
There was this time when
I
we
don't
used
either.
to joke, and it was some.
I mean, this is
Danny
almost
came
like
up with it. It was like they're like a T-ball team. Just run till you're out.
Yeah, run till you're out.
Uh-huh.
Like a T-ball team.
They keep using terms like, and I really feel like when I hear the broadcast crew go, "Oh, you can't blame Starling Marte," like on Sunday's game. Can't blame him for turning there. It just took a perfect throw. It bounced 3 times. He picked up the ball, and 38-year-old Starling Marte was just maybe a stride. I think he might even have been touching first base.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
He caught the ball and
Where's he
ran it to
going?
the bag.
I get literally like, no. And then the glove was just there waiting. He put his spikes into the glove so
said-
hard
Yes, it was like
that
it's
he
like
picked up his glove and the foot went with it.
he said. Yes, it was like Major League. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
because like, come on. When Wesley Snipes comes
Yeah.
up short on the slide, I like that part of it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think you can ask Matt Quatraro personality wise to be someone he's not. So the whole go flip the table or kick these guys' ass. If
That's
that's
not
what they
his
need, I
personality.
think someone else is going to have to do that.
Yeah.
If you've decided that's what they need, then I think you do need to fire Quatraro.
Yeah.
I don't think that works. I think for all the hollering about that, managers did that because they could get away with it because they kind of rule with an iron fist back in the day. So you hear these legendary stories of the Lupinells. I don't
Billy
know.
Martin.
Yeah, I don't know who managing today with any success does that. So I don't really have any time for that. But I do think there comes a time where these players have to learn that jobs are lost or bags have to be packed if you don't succeed. So if they head into this offseason like, well, the injuries got us. And
Yeah.
same guy.
You hear a lot of that.
Oh, boy, we love our guys.
Yeah.
And we're going to come back. We're going to try real hard. And like, no, I think there has to be ramifications somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to wait now. You have to wait till, what they say, after the All-Star break, they're really going to take a real hard look at then starting to offload people and making trades and doing all that sort of
My
stuff.
hope is they've already taken that look.
Well,
hard look
I
and
do
they're
too, but
adding for some more.
But I think that's what we're hearing.
Yeah.
Is
Well, I think it's even beyond that. I think
one more.
it's after the draft
Yeah, true.
on the 11th.
On the 11th.
When is the All-Star break?
The following week.
The following week?
Yeah, let me make sure.
Oh, God, they're going to wait to
that
clear
right.
even after that?
Yeah, the All-Star game is the 14th.
Yeah.
So it's that weekend.
Well,
it's on a Saturday,
it'll
and 2
happen-
days later, the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Probably happened
So
during
11-12
that
is the
week.
draft.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
doing it before the All-Star.
Yeah.
They were doing it after,
And then the break
weren't
is
they?
13, 14, 15. Weren't they doing it I think that's right.
I thought they were doing it like Thursday, like the draft. The game was Tuesday, and then the draft was like Wednesday, Thursday.
Something like that, yeah.
And so now I think
Right.
they're doing the draft to Saturday, Sunday, and then the game is Tuesday.
Yeah.
But I just, it's great that you got a bunch of guys you like. The group didn't work this year.
Yep.
Because it wasn't working before you got hurt. I would like to have seen them healthy, how much they could have turned around, but
Or at least won some of these games that were close and then losing them all. You know, that just killed them.
well, that's the bull. They have to figure out the bullpen better.
Oh, absolutely. They're getting late in games and boom, it's gone.
Yeah, I mean
It's
that's
gone, yeah.
that's a killer. All right, let's take a break. We'll get some Frank opinions. The godfather of Kansas City sports, Frank Bull, is with us. He's brought to you by our friends at Applause Custom Sight and Sound. Kansas City's best when it comes to smart home technology, when it comes to in-home theaters. Find them online right now at applausetheater.com.
All right, the Twin Peaks, end of the hour answer. Rays in town. Who is the Rays' single-season home run leader?
I nailed this.
You did?
Want to take a shot?
Oh,
Well, you can't start him tonight.
You can't because he plays for Detroit.
Because he plays for Detroit.
Okay.
If you've seen the movie Moneyball, it is Carlos Pena, 46 in 2007.
I want you to start Hatterberg.
Yeah,
I'm starting Pena.
Who?
Well, you can't start Pena.
Well, I'm starting him.
Well, I'm starting him. Well, you're not because they traded him. No, because he plays.
He plays for Detroit.
He plays for Detroit now.
You traded Pena? Kyle and I were going back and forth with the lines. It'll say, you traded Pena? Yep. So-and-so and so-and-so are going down. You are killing this team. Art, I can do this all day. Jeremy, you're a good ball player.
Yeah.
Traded to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I could watch
Jeremy's
that.
gone too.
Jeremy's gone. Yeah, he leaves. Jeremy's gone. He sits in where Giambi was sitting. Jeremy's gone too.
Yeah.
You are killing this team. And then as he leaves, you agree with this. 100%. And then the best line, to most unsung line, you want this shut?
Yeah.
He asks him if he wants the door shut after
That's
his
really good
heart
movie.
has just been torn out of his chest with the trade. Want this shut?
Great scene.
So many
good
great
movie.
scenes in that
Great
movie.
scene. La Feta Italian Delicatessen. We just gave it away right there. LaFetaDeli.com. Rave Reviews took it over to meeting. Said, all right, who wants sandwiches? And everybody wanted sandwiches, and everybody loved it. Thanks to our friends over at Unlimited RV, where we were meeting with them, and they adored.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a couple folks who are like, already a fan.
Already in.
What do we got?
What do we got?
So it was great.
By the way, off that question, 8 franchises have not had a 50 home run guy. Ray's obviously one of them.
Royals are one.
2. How many can you get? We did this.
I have a spreadsheet that I have the interns update from time to time. Damn it, Thunderdome! Why haven't you updated this one recently? Rays, Royals, Diamondbacks had Luis Gonzalez. Oh,
Toronto?
no, they had
Bautista.
Batista, okay.
Let's see. I'll give you divisions.
Angels.
There's
47. Troy Glaus.
Curtis ran through this with Jack and I on Friday, and one of these teams absolutely shocked me.
And
Let's see. There's another AL Central team.
I thought there was only one more. You said there was 4.
There are 8.
8.
Oh, there are 8. Another AL Central.
Mhm.
Well, the Tigers have had one. Did Albert Bell holds the White Sox record, and I don't think it's 50, so it's the White Sox.
49.
Okay.
That was the
Give me-
jumping off point last week.
Give me another division.
NL West. Oh, I'm sorry. There actually is. There's still one more
AL
West
Central?
team. I forgot AL Central team. Yeah, I forgot this team.
Royals. Twins Killebrew did.
49
49 by Killebrew? Okay.
in 1969.
Okay.
Okay. NL West.
I can't think of anybody for the Padres. So Padres?
Greg Vaughn, 50.
Oh, Greg Bond.
98.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is
Giants had Bonds.
This is this team. you might follow.
Diamondbacks had Gonzalez.
Dodgers?
The Rockies not having
Dodgers had Otani hit 55 last year.
Rockies?
Rockies.
Yeah.
Todd Hilton, 49.
Yeah.
In
That's
that
wild.
stadium.
That's the shocking
In
one,
that
right?
stadium, yeah.
AL West.
We already said Angels, so
Mhm.
not Angels. I can't. Griffey did for the Mariners,
Mhm.
so it's not the Mariners. A's have had several.
Yeah. Jimmy Fox, most 58.
McGuire.
Yeah.
A's, Mariners, Angels, Rangers,
Rangers have had. Who do they have?
and
Oh, Rangers. A-Rod had 57.
Rangers, and what's the other team? Astros.
Mhm.
Astros.
Astros.
Yeah,
Jeff
was-
Bagwell, 47.
Okay.
Last 2, AL East, NL East. Well, we already gave AL East, so that was Tampa Bay. NL
Okay.
East.
Mets. No, what's who's there now did it.
Yeah. Pete
Mets.
Alonso.
Phillies. Schwarber's done it.
Mhm.
Pirates?
Probably others.
East.
Oh, East. I'm sorry.
Just name the other teams. Help me out. Marlins. Marlins probably.
Marlins have had one.
Oh, they have. Who did it for them?
Where did they go?
Oh, Giancarlo Stanton.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. 59. Team that's been in a couple different cities.
Oh, the Nationals.
Yeah. Alfonso Serrano, 46.
Don't forget, Easton and Jimmy are going to be over at Paymore from 4 to 6 today. Get over there early. You can take advantage, 20% off all in-store purchases at Paymore. 135th Street, just south, on the south side, just a little bit west of Antioch. They are on the southwest corner, I would say, kind of Antioch and 135th, right by Coaches. If you know where that is, get on over there. Your last chance to pick up the Sports Radio 810 WHB World Soccer Preview Collectors Magazine, and you can sign up to win a $100 gift card to Talk of the Town. It's at Paymore, where they buy and sell your old electronics. That's happening from 4 to 6 today. Let's get to some frank opinions. Curtis, where do we begin?
How far does the U.S. get in the World Cup? Round of 32, which they're in. Round of 16, quarterfinal, or further?
I'm going to say round of 16.
Yeah, I think they're going to be overly optimistic. Round, even though that was my prediction coming in. Round of 16.
Correct. Number?
I will go with 4 choices or 3 choices?
3. 32, 16, quarterfinal, or further.
I'll go with 49%.
I'll go 50.
59.4. 29% think, the more people think they're going to go to the quarterfinal than they think are going to lose this week, which is probably not surprising, but almost 3 to 1. Which would you prefer after extra time expires? Penalty kicks or more extra time with the golden goal?
No, that's a good question.
So instead of the 30 minutes, you mean?
Yeah, actually play the 15 minutes, and then if it's still tied, then you continue extra time, but the first goal wins. You don't play another 15 minutes.
You just go to the golden goal.
Yeah.
I'll say PKs.
I think the Americans want to get it over with PKs.
Number?
I'll say 65.
$66.
69.
Don't do that to me, Curtis.
Which kind of World Cup uniform do you prefer? Flag colors or non-flag colors?
Flag colors.
Flag colors.
Number?
83.
84.
89.3.
Damn it.
America.
Are you tired of the Sophie Cunningham?
We do it. America. Like we do it.
In America.
Blue.
Never did think that
I
it
don't
ever
know what's
would
going on
happen
with
again.
them silly orange things.
In America.
Who
did
them
you?
orange people again?
What? Are you tired of the Sophie Cunningham pointing memes? For the record, I am not. Yes or no? See the meme where she's pointing
She's
at
always
the
pointing.
oh,
Pointing and
that's
staring.
you were busy over the weekend. Situation where she was going back and forth with someone on the Phoenix Mercury team, and they were pointing and pointing. She said, "Don't point at me," and she just kind of pointed, and
Kept
she was
pointing.
walking around.
Somebody
the
tried to
circle,
stand in front of her,
just
and then
pointing,
she went around the side of her
pointing,
pointing.
and everyone's doing everything. Every other meme, it's offensive linemen when defensive linemen flinch, things like that. And it's been going steady for 4 days.
I'm not.
So I said,
I'm not tired.
Are you tired of it yet?
I am not tired of it.
No.
Correct. Answer?
Frank?
I'll say 75.
If Frank isn't tired of it and he's a tired old man, then everybody else ain't tired of it, so I'm going to say 76.
89.6.
Woo!
Damn. You're going to love this one. How much you bench? Less than 150, 150 or more.
Oh, they'll say 150 or more.
Well, this feels like one you've moved
There's
the scale
something
on.
here.
I didn't. I put it there, and
What
it stayed.
prompted this?
We
had
talked
this.
about
It was
it
a
yesterday.
conversation
Okay,
piece yesterday.
Okay.
How much you bench? SNL
150
skit.
or more, they're going to say.
Yeah. Everybody.
Number?
I do 280. I'm not sure about 150. It's my pinky finger.
74%.
I'll say 75.
52.
Oh my gosh!
Did you play with the number?
Okay. Just landed, stayed where it was.
Wow.
Next question. Did you just...
Frank, how much you bench?
I don't have a sliced idea now.
Come on now.
No,
What was your best ever?
probably around 180.
Oh,
right in
boy.
there. It was. So right in. I used to lift all the time. Played football. I used to lift.
I thought that was low.
No, that's about it.
Back in the day, you were
I
an
weighed
athlete.
145 pounds. I weighed 145 pounds,
True.
remember?
Frank tried to lift,
Not
lift
anymore.
160 and
I did then.
came off the
No
ground.
wonder you didn't play pro ball.
Damn right. That and a few other reasons.
Next question.
Talent was the worst.
Did you just lie about how much you bench? Yes or no?
I'll say
No. I'm going to say
yeah.
no.
I'll say no.
Number?
Me again?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say. What was it? I'll say. 90.
Oh, God, that's a good number. I thought you were going to come in the 60s and this was going to be an easy over. I think enough will find it funny to say, yeah, they did, that I'm going to say under 89.
85.1. I briefly considered, did you just lie about lying? But at some point, you got to say no. What would you like to see LeBron James do? Stay with the Lakers, go to another team, retire?
Retire.
Yeah, I think retire is going to be the popular choice for all the Jordan people.
Number?
3 choices. It's going to be pretty high on that one. 67%.
68.
62.9. Who do you root for more often in the World Cup?
Wow, you're struggling to read your own question.
No, I thought I put an extra word in there, but I didn't. Who do you root for more and often in the World Cup? Favorite or underdog?
Underdog.
More and often?
More often. Who do you root for more often in the World Cup? Favorite, underdog?
Oh, the underdog.
Number?
Underdog here, too. Mine?
Yep.
Okay, I'll say 75.
74.
79.7.
Good number, Frank.
Thank you.
How much would you pay? This comes from our friend Sean Foster. How much would you pay to watch the quarterfinal at Arrowhead? Wouldn't pay. Would, less than $1,000. Would, 1,000 or more.
It's got to be
Would
less.
for 0 to 1,000.
Yeah, or for less than 1,000. Yeah.
Actually, the winners wouldn't pay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought about that for a second there.
Yeah.
52%.
51.
61.4.
Is that it?
I got more.
Or how? I don't know if we have time. Do we have time?
Should
Okay.
the Tampa Bay Rays go back to the Devil Rays? Yes or no?
Sure. I love devil. That's what the fish is called. It's a devil ray.
Yeah, people always like what they first knew it as, so I'll say yes.
Number?
Frank?
Me, I'll say 70.
No, I don't think of that demonstrative. 69.
67.7. And finally,
Another good number for you, though, Frank. The consolation prize. Good number.
and
Sure.
finally, if the 2026 Royals are winners, I'm sorry, 2029 Royals, I screwed that question up. Never mind. I'll do something else. Which opening day is the last for Matt Quatraro as Royals manager? 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029 or later? Obviously, if he gets 5.
2027.
I'm going to say 2026. That this was his last opening day.
44% said 2026.
Wow.
39% said 2027.
7-4. Those are the scores I like a little bit better. What do we got now for the overall?
All right, it is 11 to 10 to 4 in favor of Seren. In the aggregate, Seren with 142, Frank 149.
Now, Frank was leading.
Yeah, I still am.
Yeah, you're
149 to 142.
Hold on. We read the big number first.
Okay, I put the winner first.
Give it to me again. Frank was
Frank 149.
Yeah.
Seren 142.
142. Catching up on you, Frank.
You're getting there.
Catching up on you. We'll take a break, come back, find out how stupid I am on current events. We call it What in the World, Seren. It's next here in the program. All right, what in the world, Frank? What do you got for me?
All right, buddy. Actor, filmmaker Mel Brooks celebrated a birthday Sunday. How old is Mel?
100.
Very good. Okay, they're moving into the next phase of the expansion of I-70. What is the speed limit now on I-70?
Where?
Where they're expanding lanes?
75.
55 miles per hour. Get your foot off the gas.
Oh, the construction. I thought you meant when they were done.
No.
Bad question.
Be unlimited like the
Rocky
Autobahn.
statue has been moved inside the Philadelphia Art Museum to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the movie. What statue replaced it on the outside?
A Nick Sirianni mooning statue.
Joe Frazier.
Oh, wow. Okay. A real boxer. You mean.
Yeah. Approximately how many guests are expected for the Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce wedding inside Madison Square Garden?
22,000.
1,000. They all have to sign NDAs.
I said I wouldn't sign. That's why I'm not going. On this date in 78, Willie McCovey joined the 500 home run club. How many Royals pitchers have given up a 500th home run? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
I think in a perfect world, yeah, you wouldn't put that out there. You wouldn't have to put all these projections. You just go, listen, it's the World Cup, and we get a chance to be a global city with cities like New York, Los Angeles. We get to be one of those if we can put this forward. It elevates the stature of our city. But unfortunately, we're selfish. And I don't think everybody would get on board unless you tell them, and it's going to benefit you. I've talked to enough politicians about different things, and you have too, I'm sure. And when you talk to people, like when it comes to the stadiums, you got to find a reason on how this is going to help everyone, or they're not going to vote for it. You can't just go like, listen, this makes us an NFL community. If we put the stadium, we're an NFL state. You can't just tell people in Kansas, we're gonna be an NFL state, and that carries stature. And when we go out and look to try to, bring in companies to get new jobs and to do different things, the fact that we are an NFL, that when they go here in Kansas City, Kansas, your Kansas City Chiefs are playing today against Los Angeles Rams, and they show an aerial view of your state, that's an advertisement that goes out to every company. People don't see that. What goes in my hand right now is the decision that I think, unfortunately, the vast majority of people in this country make. How do you put money in my hand? So the marketing campaigns and the efforts to get anything done are all BS on everything. Everyone's like, oh, the politicians. The politicians, it's you. Like, this is what you have to be told. Like, we could give you what is the idealistic reason to do something, but you're not going to do it until I tell you how I'm going to put something in your hand. And if I tell you it's going to go in your hand, then you'll get on board with it. And then if you get on board with it, then we'll have the event that hopefully everyone in the end, it'll end up being so good, the event in this case, or the relocation, whatever it is, the tax, bringing a company in, then hopefully along the way, you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, that ended up being a good thing. But I think we talked about this going in. There's no way the numbers are going to reach what they want them to be. But I think it's impossible to get it off the ground unless you BS people and tell them it's going to be great for you. Hopefully they have a good enough time along the way that at the end, they just kind of forget about what was promised. But I don't think you can get anything done unless you tell everybody you're going to put stuff in your pocket.
Yeah, I mean, I think the stadium thing is different for a couple of reasons. I mean, one, in Jackson County, they literally had to have voters on their side in order to pass that, and they didn't. They didn't get voters on their side. I think the way it's described as like being an NFL city or being an NFL state in Kansas terms, I think that is the way that Kansas is trying to sell it. But I think with the World Cup, I mean, first of all, there's a lot of federal money that's gone towards this, particularly towards the security and overtime for the police force and things of that nature. So I think there's more of a feeling that there's different mechanisms. There's more levers involved in this than there were for, just asking Jackson County, for example, to pay for the entire, public portion of the money. But look, I mean, I understand your point, but I think that
you have more faith in humanity. Is that what you're saying?
I actually think they could have sold it that way. I think that was one of the problems with the Chiefs and Royals campaign to begin with, is trying to convince people that they're going to get their money back, because I think you need to give people more credit than that, because the research is out there that you don't. And so I actually would have included it part of my campaign if I was the Chiefs and Royals, just say, do you like having us here? Do you like having us in town? Are you a Chiefs fan? Here's what it is actually going to cost you. You're not going to get your money back. Here's what it's going to cost you. And our estimate is it's going to cost you, I don't know what the number actually would be, but let's say it's $80 a year, $75 a year. It's going to cost you. Is it worth it to you to have the Chiefs and Royals in this stadium in your hometown for $75 a year? And I would have put, because first of all, I think, like I said, voters appreciate honesty. I think that they appreciate you treating them as though they have a high IQ and not like you can slip one past them. And I'm not saying that the entire campaign was trying to slip one past people. But
on which, World Cup or stadiums?
On the stadium. But I do think that people probably saw through, hey, you'll get your money back. And that's where I agree with you that, yes, people are looking for that if you tell them that's what they should expect.
Right.
And if you leave that part out of it, and like the World Cup, for example, I don't think you had to sell it as having 6 Super Bowls here. I think you could have just been real and said more people will watch these games then there will be 6 Super Bowls. It might not feel like an exact Super Bowl in your town, because I mean, I've been to 4 Super Bowls, but and it's not the Super Bowl here. It's unbelievable. I just mentioned going through the Orange Walk. I mean, the Algeria relationship has been awesome. I've been to Argentina rallies. They've been awesome. But I think you could have just said, listen, this is how many people watch this event. It's coming to Kansas City. We don't know exactly how many people are coming, but we expect that there'll be great energy in the city. And I always think, I evaluate football team and baseball team moves this way as well, as like, what do the good teams do and what do the bad teams do? And with the World Cup, I would have said, here's the other cities that wanted this. And it is New York, it is LA, it is Seattle. It was Denver that wanted to be part of it. It's Dallas that's in it, and Miami and Boston. And I would have said, all those guys want this. Why wouldn't we?
Right.
Also want this.
Yeah, I think that's
an angle I hadn't even thought of. That's you want to be on that list?
But I don't know that people do want to be on that list here.
Well, you're always going to have a segment of this is the nature with politics. You'll find the other side of every argument. Right. And there is politics laced within this, because there's money, there's public money laced within this. And it is that, you had to get politicians on board in Missouri and Kansas and Kansas City. And but to me, that was actually one of the beauties of Kansas City actually getting it, was I shouldn't say we, because I'm not involved in the process. I just mean we from a Kansas City standpoint. Right. We always are intrinsically battling this element of having to get more people on board because you sit on the state line. But instead, in this process, I think what works so well is they use that to their advantage and said, we've got a lot of people on board with this that are working together towards the same goal.
I've always kind of had the sense that people in this town, they don't want to be New York or Chicago or LA, but they want people to think we're as good as those cities, because whenever you see the ratings things come out and KC's number 1, they always go, aha, KC better than New York and LA and Chicago, all these places. So I think there is part of us that's because of the resentment that many people in this city have had of how we've been viewed as a flyover city or whatever. Yeah. There's a resentment for the big cities, but they do like to be compared favorably to those big cities.
Oh, 100%.
So that's why I do think that being on that list matters.
Yeah, definitely. And I think
look at little old us on there.
And I think that's actually the narrative, and that's what I meant at the onset of this conversation by saying that's not really measurable, but there is a narrative that has shifted with people who have been here, with people who will go back and tell people about their experience in Kansas City. Claff Illig had who's the honorary co-chair along with Clark Hunt, the longtime principal owner of Sporting Kansas City, who had said, I just said, what's your objective for people who are traveling here? And he said, to show them that our lifestyle is the best asset we've got. And I think that Kansas City has done that.
Two things I've seen a lot of are that people talking about how a lot of the world didn't realize the value of that, but also it's you see a lot of posts on Twitter and other social media platforms. Oh, with the sizes of the crowds and everything, the turnout, and there's always kind of smallest host city, huh? There's a lot of that. They mention the fact that everyone thinks of us as a small town, but there we are packing the.
To your point, I think that. This is another thing that's immeasurable, but without a doubt, there are people outside Kansas City that have been waiting for Kansas City to fail to prove that it didn't belong as one of the hosts. And those are, I'm sure, people from other cities who felt like
came up short,
that their city should have been included instead, that said, how is Kansas City on this list and we're not? And I think want evidence that Kansas City shouldn't have been selected. And I don't know what their evidence would be.
Too bad, so sad.
Yeah, no, I don't think they've had that. And being in New York last week when they're hosting games, and first of all, in New York is they don't have to try because they're going to get it because it's New York, right? You don't come with a global event and not consider New York. And if you're going to have multiple venues, New York's going to be one of them, right? LA almost, not quite.
I agree, but I will say I think DC is the first ever capital. And it may be first ever, but it's at least the first in a while capital of the country that's selected that has not been in it. And then they later combined with Baltimore's.
Well, and keep in mind that their stadium sucks, and there's all kinds of reasons. We don't even go down that road, but yeah, that is an interesting point. But I went to New York and finally right before you leave LaGuardia, there's a sign that says World Cup. Where when you come in or out of KCI, no matter it's World Cup fever. The moment you come in, whether you're coming in, getting off a plane, or coming in to go get on a plane, it's World Cup all the way through there. I mean, it begins right
I've seen
there.
Kansas City, but just with it not being Chief season, I haven't been in other airports. That's a really interesting contrast, because I think that does speak to the fact that Kansas City treated this like it was the biggest thing to ever come to Kansas City. And I've wondered, and that is, a small piece of evidence for it, how those big cities actually viewed it, because I don't think it's the biggest thing that's ever come.
And I did not drive around. I mean, I walked around neighborhoods in New York. I walked a lot. I was in both Manhattan and Brooklyn, and there's no signage in the neighborhoods, where around here, a lot of the neighborhoods are putting up flags with soccer. If you go over anywhere around where England is making their home, signs in yards saying "Go England," doing everything they can.
I mean, I've driven through Mass Street in downtown Lawrence. I mean, you see signs on an ice cream shop welcoming Algeria. You see the lights on trees are the colors of Algeria's flag. I've seen a church with Algeria colors. There's that huge flag behind the Leeds Center on the they basically mowed into the grass out there. And then, I mean, Union Station is just covered with World Cup stuff. Crown Center is covered with World Cup stuff. You're right. I mean, you can feel that the World Cup's here. And I mean, I went to a watch party on Friday in Lee's Summit, downtown Lee's Summit, and it's got the World Cup on. It's about the World Cup. There's flags. I mean, it's if you wanted to avoid the World Cup in Kansas City, I think it would be tough.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. I think it's a good way to put it. So when it's over, will everyone say success?
Everyone, no, but I think
will the majority?
Yes, I think if
it was everyone in town gets a vote, success or not, would yes win, and would it be decisive?
Yes. Yeah, I think so, and I think the people who are involved in this, because I've talked to them about it, and I think it's even exceeded some of their expectations.
Really? And in what ways?
Well, I mean, look, their expectations changed over time, because I mean, they see the numbers too. I mean, it's not like when, people who run hotels are complaining about the lack of bookings and rooms, that's like news to them. I think maybe it could have been surprising to them if you had asked them 2 years ago if that would be the case. But I think, I mean, I think the Orange Walk's a great example. I think these Argentina parties are great examples. I know for a fact that no one expected this like Algeria-Lawrence relationship to take off the way it has, because there's the controllables, and there's the stuff that you hope like naturally happens, and there's a lot of stuff that's fallen into that latter bucket. Is I mean, the way I think Kansas Cityans have embraced these other cultures is something that you maybe could predict, but how can you control it, really? How can you force it? And I think a lot of that's just come really naturally.
All right, how about on the field? Who do you think's taking it all?
Well, first of all, yesterday's 3 matches were incredible.
Yes.
And it also struck me that like every World Cup and like every day of the World Cup, either the matches are not good and you get all these people like, oh, this sport's not any good, this isn't entertaining. And then when the matches are good, you get all these people like, I don't understand how people can't watch this sport. Like this sport's, it's like, just either enjoy it if you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Or sit it out if you want to sit it out.
Well, I did a whole spiel on the whole, like, soccer sucks. It's like, I don't like prunes. I don't run up to everybody to tell them I don't like prunes.
Yes,
exactly. I don't like prunes? Yes. I don't like prunes.
Like, just sit it out.
I don't like prunes. Like, I don't care.
And then you retroactively fit all this rationale behind it as far as the flopping, although you probably watched the NBA Finals.
Or defensive linemen laying down to get a stoppage on a 2-minute drill. Yes, it happens all the time.
Wide receivers like throwing their hands up, hoping for a DPI flag. Yep. Like this happens in like every sport. Yes. I mean, literally it comes down to before review in baseball, where every base runner that would hit first base would spread their arms out, like calling themselves safe. Like every sport has an element of begging for a call,
right?
But I just don't know how if you are a soccer fan, you watched yesterday and you were just amazed because it was 3 awesome matches. I wish that the Netherlands had not parked the bus like with the tie game and extra time, because like Morocco was playing a really fun brand of soccer, and I'm glad they won because I thought they deserved to win, and it was a fun match. And I guess my last point of watching yesterday was I think the U.S. comes out looking a little bit better because Paraguay certainly didn't look easy to score on.
No.
From Germany.
Change that narrative pretty quickly. I think I mentioned this earlier in the show, but I saw a post last night on Twitter from a guy named Rusty Mansell, who's an SEC football guy. He posted, "I'm over here watching Morocco, Netherlands like it's damn Alabama, LSU. What the hell is wrong with me?" I mean, it's people get the bug. When you watch that, we've gotten to the point where now we're used to seeing the matches. It isn't a culture shock to watch soccer, and the competition is at its best. I mean, I can't. I was still at the station yesterday watching the PKs with the Germany game, and I'm like, I can't get out of this chair. I want to watch what's going on.
Yeah, and
it's amazing the competition.
I think the other thing that's been really cool is 48 teams has worked. I mean, the 32, because all 3 look, when the NFL expands the playoffs and goes to 7 teams, your worry is that 2 versus 7 game going to be worth it? That's the added game. And for the first several years, the answer was no. Like, those games were pretty frequently blowouts. But of course, is it worth it financially? Yes, regardless of the actual result. But all 3 games yesterday were unbelievably competitive games. And just really, I mean, you actually could have had, because Brazil was losing at halftime, you could have had Germany, Netherlands, and Brazil all knocked out on one day.
And would that have been good? That's the big debate on the NCAA tournament. We like upsets, but we want blue bloods in the finals.
Yeah, that's to your point. I don't really root for upsets in the NCAA tournament. I just root for good games. And, of course, you always root for the game-winning shot, I feel like. But I'm not always, like, pulling for the underdog because, I mean, look, this last year, the NCAA tournament was terrific late because there weren't a ton of upsets early. And I don't know how that'll turn out for the World Cup. I mean, look, Germany clearly is a better team than Paraguay is, although I thought Paraguay played with them. I didn't think that was like I thought Germany outplayed them, but not by like a significant margin. And then, like I said, Morocco deserved to win that Netherlands game. They outplayed them.
Yeah. And
so I don't know that, and they're a younger team. They've got some speed. I think they're a team that will expose themselves in the back at the sake of trying to push forward. It's like, that's not a bad thing to have a team like that in it. And then Brazil survived anyway.
Yeah. It is interesting. I think, to Curtis's point about the, some SEC football fan liking it, it helps. It's on at our time.
Yeah, 100%.
I think there's no doubt. I think every time the Olympics are going to get a big shot in the arm. I think the Olympics are gaining momentum. It's maybe the only thing in this country, and maybe and certainly this would probably be getting it as well. The only time we all get along, the only time we all root for the same thing is our national sports teams. And so I think that. That there's the national pride, but it's on at the time that people are used to watching their sports. And so the hope for soccer is, and why I've been wondering why the World Cup wasn't here quicker.
I wonder if that's going to be one of their actions now.
Is to react and go.
It's not going to be 30 years before it comes back.
I would agree.
I
think
it's already it's most watched ever. Now you have more teams. There's more games. But I think it's pretty clearly been a success financially for FIFA as well.
Well, and FIFA is already starting to bend their rules, which are you're not supposed to go back to a continent.
You just say starting?
FIFA continues to bend its rules and be on the take and bribed and anything else you want to say about them. But they, one of the rules is about where it goes is you got to go to every other continent before you come back to one. Well, so now they're doing all these multi-continent things.
Yeah, like next one.
Yeah. Next one, we're going to knock out Africa and Europe altogether.
Yeah.
And they're getting South America in there as well because they're going to do a couple of openers in South America. No, we've been back. We've been back.
Yeah. I think Argentina maybe gets to host an opener next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was what.
Where was the first one, Paraguay or Uruguay? I think one of them has it. I think Argentina has one.
Uruguay won the first one, didn't they? 1930. By the way,
I'll look it up.
As you're looking that up, the three matches set for today, start times noon, 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock. What's that sound like? Every NFL Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even the staggering of the games is the ultimate U.S. trifecta.
You mentioned just even like the national pride factor. What's been funny to me is like the U.S. actually played well enough. I didn't think that the third match was. I mean, first of all, I want to preface this by saying I think John Strong and Stu Holden are terrific as the lead announcers on Fox. I really think John Strong is great. But I thought they made too much out of the U.S. losing. First of all, it's your backups. And second of all, I don't like this is my guess is the U.S. felt better about itself than it has in a really, really long time, perhaps ever. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to experience a loss.
Yeah, and understand we're not involved. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've got some work to do still, but they have played at a level in those first two matches with their guys that it actually prompted me yesterday to even think, should we be rooting for upsets because it might help the U.S. in this,
Yeah.
in this bracket? Because those games are at least on the U.S. side.
Yes.
It's like the semifinal side, not the quarterfinal side, but it's still a quadrant. But it still made you think, like, is the U.S. playing well enough to where I should care about?
Yeah.
Like a
Who wins
college
the rest of these
fan going,
brackets?
maybe if the 7 knocks off the
Exactly,
2
yeah.
there, we can
Yeah.
squeak through
If
on the
Spain could
side.
get upset. Then,
Yeah.
then
Well,
all of
that's
a
the big
sudden it
one.
opens up, and
By the way, 2030 is Spain, Portugal, and Morocco, right? Which is across the strait from each other. So it's not that far a travel, but they're getting two continents in with that. Then they're also, to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the first World Cup, 3 opening matches will take place in South America: Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay.
okay, so the answer is
Yes, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
All 3 of them. And then the best part of it is I forgot as to why we're going to jam 3 continents in real quick, because we want to get back to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is 2034,
Yeah.
and so clearly after just being in Qatar, they're like, well, we gotta ramp this up. I wonder if any money went from Saudi Arabia to FIFA.
doubt it.
When has it
I
ever
mean,
been that way?
that Saudi Arabia's never just bought something, have they?
Don't think so.
No.
They're a financially strapped country.
Yeah. We'll take a break. Sam McDowell, columnist for the Kansas City Star, joins us each and every week here in the program. He's brought to you today by the Plumbing Pro. The ones to know are the Plumbing Pro.
The program.
baffled by Quan being down there too.
Quan actually has a good on-base percentage, but I think his hard hit rate is
awful.
Historically bad.
He's known that he's having problems, and he knows his meal tickets is on base, and he's doing everything to pull that up.
If you don't factor in plate appearances, just like who qualifies, only one Royal has a lower OPS than Perez, and it's Tyler Tolbert.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a real question that needs to be asked. They just keep writing his name in like it's not even consideration to take him out. And, you know, I go back to and
right now you have the excuse of you have guys out.
You do, but there's no reason for Salvador Perez to play first base and run Jack Caglione around the outfield over any outfielder that you could put out there, because Salvi does not hit better than those outfielders.
Yeah, then that's what I think. Like when you have, you know, when Vinny gets back, for example, I think the Royals should be asking themselves whether or not they want Caglione to continue to play first base and DH Vinny and play Carter Jensen at catcher.
Well, do you agree with me? My opinion is that Jack Caglione, you want to put him in the outfield last year when you're kind of in a race. It's your best option to try to win and get to the playoffs. Okay. You get to the offseason, you try to do some things. You can't get anything done, and you come back and you put him in the outfield this year. Okay. You go through a second offseason, you go through another trade deadline and another offseason, and you don't get Caglione over to first base. Like if Vinny Pasquantino were sitting on a 7-year contract, okay, I got it. But you're not giving Vinny Pasquantino, you're not saying he's our guy. You're not putting that money behind it. You did this little, we don't want to mess with arbitration for a couple of years contract, which is superfluous, to be honest with you. It's basically, let me just tell you, it's down the road of the Cole Reagans contract. And the Cole Reagans contract, I said at that time, I'm like, what was the point of this? The only reason to do this contract is if you're Cole Reagans and your arm hurts, because you feel like I want the guaranteed money because they may just non-tender me and I can't even get arbitration cash. So yes, sir, please, I'll take my 2 years. And that's exactly what it ended up being. I think the exact same thing of Vinny Pasquantino's contract. You're not buying into free agency. So what did you really solve? Well, you guaranteed the player money in case he gets hurt. And guess what? Yet again, he got hurt. So I'm not sure what those contracts are doing. You're clearly not convinced he's your guy. Yet you're giving him preferential treatment at first. Like what you're doing is just like holding on to both trains. Like I don't know which one might lead, but I want to make sure I got a grip on either one. You've got to decide what is the course. And you need to decide well and correctly. You're in the get it right business. There's no reason. If they come back and Jack Caglione is the plan in right field, then I will start talking about people's jobs.
My guess is a significant part of that is how difficult it's been for them to get corner outfielders. I mean, for 3 years now, we've been talking about the weak spots in the lineup being corner outfielders. The only reason we haven't talked about it this year is because Caglione plays one of them. They have another first base option. They don't have other corner outfield options.
We'll trade one of the first basemen.
I mean,
trade one of the catchers.
There wasn't did you want them to trade Carter Jensen?
No, it's not my first choice, but if you believe in Salvador Perez and you believe in Blake Mitchell, then yes, that's what you do. You trade Carter Jensen for a guy who presumably the plan would be is going to hit as well or better than Carter Jensen and play the outfield. Yes, that's what you do. Like that, the whole mindset that I can't trade anyone who's good. First of all, figure out.
Well, to me, Carter Jensen is your future catcher.
Well, I agree. Now at this point, it's there. But this is the same thing. They did the same thing with MJ Melendez. They're going to get credit for Carter Jensen, but the reality is they didn't know on either. They just brought them both up and hoped. And at some point, what the Yankees have been great at is the Yankees trade. Anyone who starts to get prospect status, they trade him, and they don't ever end up seeing to be anything anywhere else. You know, the Yankees spend a lot of money, but they also make trades for guys, and they trade prospects that have pretty good ratings or okay ratings or whatever, and those guys don't go on to do squat. And yet they get a good player to help them now. So, yes, I want you to figure out, and I forget the kid who's the other catcher down there with Blake Mitchell. Let me go. Hang on, I'll tell you in a second.
I don't know exactly.
I want to say Ramon Ramirez, but that's not right. Yeah, it is Ramon Ramirez. I nailed it. You've got Ramon Ramirez and Blake Mitchell. Blake Mitchell supposedly can catch. He can get on base. He's literally, strikeout, walk, homer, right? But to a .413 on base percentage right now, 13 home runs. Ramon Ramirez has 10 home runs, a .363 on base, a .478 slug. He's right-handed hitting, but we're not sure if he can catch. So put them in deals and get what you need. Go get an outfielder from somebody who will value that catching.
Yeah, I think that they should not be afraid to do that. I guess my skepticism comes from I don't know what those guys would bring if that would bring the return that they need.
Well, my point,
but they shouldn't say no.
Trade one of those guys for a minor league outfielder.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to just wave a wand and be able to move A-ball guys for proven 30 home run right fielders.
Yeah.
Right? I do expect you to be able to take a pitcher and put him with one of those guys and then get one. If you would not look at Chris Bubich and Cole Reagans and be like, oh, they're going to be healthy this year. No, they're not. Like, they could have moved Cole Reagans, and they didn't. And nobody wanted to hear it. And I got people bitching at me, and I'm like, you really want to trade an ace? I'm like, I want to trade for guys that I know are going to play. And I don't think Cole Reagans is going to pitch. He hasn't pitched his whole career. I don't know why you think he's suddenly going to pitch. You caught lightning in a bottle with his 1 year. Name me the guy.
2 years, right?
Somebody said to me, Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens had Tommy John at Texas, but he was never down in the big leagues. We were talking about a guy who's his whole professional career has been injuries. And like, we're stunned that he got hurt again. Like, you have to trade some names of some people that you like when they're healthy and just admit that they are what they are, oft injured.
Well, here's the difference, I think, with Reagans, too, is his injury now, and he has surgery tomorrow.
By the way, you said 2 years. What's the second year of health that you're giving him?
Reagans? I think he had 2 years, right?
In a Royals uniform, 12 starts, 32 starts, 13 and 8. If you want to say the 12, the combination of the Rangers, minor leagues, and all that.
So he was with the Rangers that year as well.
Yeah, and in the minors. He had a number of starts in the minors. He had 96 big league innings that year, and he was in the minors. That was a healthy year. If you're talking about with the Royals, no, he's not put 2 healthy years together with the Royals.
But, as he has surgery tomorrow, is the reality of him being injured compared to, I don't know, let's say Michael Garcia had gotten hurt, for example, is this really has to change their thinking about next year, too, because you cannot go into next year depending on Cole Reagans being part of your rotation. Like, where does that leave you? Like, you've got an expensive Seth Lugo making 21, I think, next year. Waka's making next year, like 20.
Yeah.
So you have those two guys. You assume that Noah Cameron will be, in the 3, 4, 5 spot. Then what?
Yeah, I'm with you. We're talking to Sam McDowell. We'll take a break. One more with Sam here in the program.
The program.
saying, and this is such a subject we brought up. Should you even be talking about 27, or should you start talking about 29, 30, 31 and getting ready for a new stadium?
Yeah. Well, I mean, even or 28 in there too, because those two guys like Walker and Lugo aren't under contract for 28, and that's what I just think the Reagan's injury has real ripple effects beyond just, hey, this is I think you could dismiss the Reagan's injury more easily and say, this team's not going anywhere anyway. You know, just have them sit out the rest of the season. It's like, but then what? I mean,
then what? Yeah,
you can't depend on a player who's been out this long. And look, I mean, I really like Cole Reagan as a person. I feel for him, the fact that this has happened to him.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's not his fault that he keeps getting injured, but it is a reality that the Royals have to confront.
Yeah, it is. And they're going to have to, you know, I mean, they're looking at, you talk about 28 right now, they're looking at a rotation that would be Noah Cameron, Stephen Kolek, and take your pick. Because Bergert's hurt, and I don't put him into that equation until he gets healthy. Sam, great stuff as always. We appreciate it. Thank you for the time. We'll do it again next week.
Yep, sounds good.
Sam McDowell, columnist for the Kansas City Star, joins us each and every week here in the program. We will take a break, come back. We got Gary Parrish coming up next hour. We'll talk NBA draft and what's going on in college basketball coming up in the 5.
It's time for the La Feta Italian Delicatessen end of the hour question. Located on the southeast corner of 143rd and Metcalf. La Feta Delicatessen. Bread made fresh each morning, coupled with the freshest ingredients and sauces created in-house for you each and every day.
All right, who holds the record for receiving yards in a game by a visiting player at Arrowhead? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Matt Beasler with a soccer update brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. The U.S. won Group D and are on to the knockout round where they'll face Bosnia on Wednesday night. Bosnia secured their spot in the round of 32 with a 3-1 win over Qatar in a must-win.
Fourth quarter of the program begins right now as we finish strong here on a Tuesday. A hot and sticky Tuesday. Still to come, Gary Parrish, our college basketball insider, will get his thoughts on the Ja Morant trade from his Memphis Grizzlies, the NBA draft, Darren Peterson, his chances. Plus, did you know that in the top 25 and 1, there's no K-State, there's no Missouri, and there's no Kansas?
Really?
Yeah.
That's very surprising. I can't
Get
wait
to
to
the
hear
bottom of that.
Yes, I like that.
The hell's going on there?
I'd listen to Gary Parrish talk about the wind.
Well, good, because that's on my list.
He's fantastic.
Yeah. Find out what kind of soccer fan he is. I've got that in the Final Four.
Oh, nice. I'm looking
Find out
forward
if he's
to
going to
that.
get to the bottom of some things. All right. We mentioned the Royals are back in town. Correct?
They are.
That's a fact. You can look it up.
Spread the word around. Guess
Yeah,
who's back
let
in
everybody
town.
know the boys in blue are back.
I'll be out there hoping for closed windows in the press box.
I think you're going to get it.
Sometimes there's always one guy's like, yeah, I like it. Nice.
Rough
Probably
weekend.
someone from Tampa.
Yeah, rough weekend with the White Sox, wrapping up with the Rays. Royals come home. J.J. Piccolo available today. Todd Lebo out covering the clubhouse. J.J. was asked how he's viewing the trade deadline with as many injuries as they have.
So that's where the short-term and long-term planning, and who's going to be on our rotation next year. And we just talked about Bergert and Cole being out, so they're two that we know we don't have. Bubic is a pending free agent, so that might be three that we don't have. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to talk about moving any of our starting pitching. Doesn't mean we don't listen, doesn't mean we don't examine, but we know if we make a trade like that, now you got to replace him. If we expect to win in 27, you got to replace him. So a bird in the hand sometimes better than what you're going to get for the future. But we won't know that until we have really specific conversations. But I think this is going to be a little tricky, and keeping an eye on what we have in 27, knowing that we have to improve our bullpen. There's no doubt that's going to be a major part of our offseason to try to improve the pen. You always want to try to add offense somehow, but we like whether you go Carter, Salvi, Cags, Vinny, Bobby, Michael, Izzy, we've got some significant pieces. So if we can shore up the bullpen, if you go back and look through this season, there's a lot of close games that we didn't hold on to leads. And, we have a higher percentage of blown saves, not necessarily ninth inning blown saves, but blown saves than we've had the last 2 years. And if we could have shored that up or stayed healthy or whatever it may be, maybe we would have won more games. You like to think that you would have, because we've had leads late in games that we haven't held. When you look at the deadline now, you're also thinking about those things for 27, because if you just punt on everything in 26, now you got to climb a big mountain for 27, and we don't think we're far off. So we feel like we have to tweak our team, get better for sure, but that's what's going to make this deadline a little bit more difficult.
Reaction to those comments?
Whoever's listening in their cars, if you're driving around and you see someone screaming at their radio, they probably just heard that. Unrealistic assessment of where they're at right now, sounds to me. That's how I would describe it.
A couple of things that jumped out at me from that. If you move one of your pitchers, who do we have next year? We have Bergert and Cole down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I get it, but so the goal is to not get worse? Because how are you getting better?
Yes.
And is their idea bringing back Chris Bubic for another year?
Yeah, he mentioned Bubic is not under contract. I don't think Bubic is going to be back. Jeff Passan seems pretty adamant that he doesn't think Bubic is going to be back. So whether that's coming from the agent or coming from JJ, Jeff's as wired in as anybody on that. But, it's, if we're going to win games next year, it's like, all right, so I'll get he rattled off, getting everybody in the lineup, and Salvador Perez was one of the names he mentioned.
And is Kyle Isbell, Izzy.
For the batting order? For just Kyle Isbell's been a candidate to be replaced since the moment he was given the job.
Yes.
And Salvador Perez is trending in the absolute wrong direction. Absolute wrong direction.
Bringing everyone back.
I mean, you heard Sam McDowell just talk about -1.5 wins.
Yeah.
Like, I will state again, it's not about trading Salvador Perez. It's about whether or not you release him. And you're not going to do it this year, but I mean, like, you need to make some decisions. It could happen next year. I just don't know how you're talking about. I guess we could say, hey, he's the captain of the team. He's going to be a Royals Hall of Famer. You include his name. You give him the respect.
Yeah.
Okay. But if they're really thinking in terms of him being a part of a lineup that's going to compete, those days are gone, it appears.
No. I mean, I get running it back if you're coming off back-to-back Super Bowls, but coming off a season when you're going to scare 100 losses.
Talking about a lot of close games in a positive light, which is one of the things I heard there.
Mm-hmm.
In baseball, is the second worst idea only to talking about a lot of close games in soccer.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That's the sport.
Most games are not decided by 5 runs.
We haven't lost by 30 yet this year. I know. You don't play football or basketball. You play baseball. Hockey, I guess I should include hockey in there. It's probably third. Behind soccer and hockey.
Yeah.
And then not far off. I mean, I hope you're right. I hope he's right. He was asked about the coaching staff. Sam McDowell asked JJ what he thinks of the staff right now.
These are the same guys we've worked with for really 4 seasons now. We've been through the highs and the lows, and they've been challenged before. I think we're faced with a challenge that's greater than any other point right now, because in 23 the expectations weren't as high. The expectations were there this year, so it's more challenging. But I know what this group is about. I know how they work. They're very curious. They want answers. They want to try to find solutions to the questions we have. And that's what they work, so I know they're prepared every day, and that's all we can ask. That's what we can ask. And at the end of the year, you take a look and say, is this really moving in the direction we want it to go? But right now, it's just keep having conversations with them, share, things that we're seeing as a front office, let them share concerns they have with us. So together we can be part of the answers with each other.
JJ, you mentioned to Sam there, like assessments at the end of the year. So it sounds like you're not in the habit of doing anything during the year, making changes with managers or coaches. Is that?
Yeah, we're not making any changes in the middle of the season. I mean, there's a good comfort zone, I would say. You got to look at relationships the players have with pitching coaches, with hitting coaches. You really have to fairly assess the cards we've been dealt, right now. I don't want to harp on this because I don't want to make excuses. But we're banged up, so it's hard to really assess our coaches when we're not working with a full deck right now. But we're just going to keep encouraging and, ask questions, and hopefully we can, agree on things. And our coaches are good self-evaluators. I'm mentioning how we don't go home feeling great. There's nobody who goes home and feels worse than they do, so I know the care factor's there. Not that should be not part of what they do, but we're comfortable with what they're doing.
A couple things on that one.
At least.
The last one first. We're comfortable.
Yeah.
With what they're doing.
And you used comfort zone earlier in the question.
And the players are comfortable. Yeah, I know. Are you comfortable losing? I mean, he mentioned he doesn't want to use the injuries, and they are banged up. I will use the injuries for him.
But then he did.
But he did. But, like, the comfortable thing is not what people want to hear.
No.
I'd also add they weren't exactly too banged up the first month and a half of the season.
No, and they weren't playing well then. And, same guys we've had for 4 years. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it's been worse 3 years in a row.
Hello.
I mean, and then the last thing I would say is our guys are good self-evaluators. Well, I'm happy for them. I'm a good self-evaluator as well. But if my job was to lose weight and my self-evaluation was I'm not, I'm a good self-evaluator, but I'm not doing my job. Like, I don't really care if you're a self-evaluator. Like,
and it's they working hard at something and caring and not feeling good when you lose.
Well, that's like
bottom
telling your
line.
wife, "Well, I don't know why you're pissed at me. I'm not in jail."
Yeah, I mean,
you're not supposed to be in jail.
Chris
To
Rock.
quote Chris Rock from many years ago. Yeah, that's a.
As someone said to me, maybe a little too honest for his own good.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think
when you
so.
admire that part of it, but
I do admire the honesty.
whoa,
But and listen,
those 4 minutes are not going to make fans happy.
when the season is over and a day or two later, and they have their kind of exit press conference, if they're talking about 3 coaching changes, then all this is irrelevant.
Yeah.
If it's just like, listen, I'm going to present the calm front, and I'm going to take the arrows. People aren't going to like what I'm going to say, but they can bitch at me and bitch about me. I'm going to take the pressure off my guys.
Yep.
Well, then well played. But if it keeps going the way it's going, if it's a 65-win season, I don't think it's going to go over real well with your fans if you're saying, no, we're just pressing forward. The injuries are all that got us. I will take a break. Gary Parrish joins us next here in the program.